money is not everything.
Yeah,
Sometimes the mental well-being is well worth.
Yeah, man. True,
Yeah.
man.
I think a big perk, and this is coming. So I like to talk to people who are older than myself. They generally have lived life, made mistakes. They can teach me a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
And again, I admit I'm completely a dumbass. I just learn from you guys,
Okay.
right? So a lot of my peers who are older than me say that if you're having a bad relationship with your parents, you need space.
Yes.
And then once you do meet up, you present yourself as the best, as your best version of yourself.
Correct.
Dude, Dad is so nice to me now.
Exactly.
That
Even
is so
I
nice.
see it. Even I see it. Exactly.
That's like, what you want to have for dinner? I'm like, you care, man? I straight away ask him,
It's a
you really
huge
care?
difference. Yeah. So your relationship with your parents, right? If you treasure it, if you truly treasure it, have space.
Before we begin the podcast, have you gotten your free ebook? It's called the Build a Six-Figure Portfolio Guidebook. Now, inside it, we share with you the tips and tricks to bring your stock investing skills to the next level. The best part, it's only 10 pages long and it's totally free. Whether you're on Spotify or YouTube, the link to download is in the description, or you can go to www.firl.co/FREE or www.firl.co/free. All right, guys, welcome back to the FIRL Podcast, best place for long-term stock investors. Unfortunately, we will not be talking a lot about stock investing today.
Really? What?
We have
That's a surprise.
there are many firsts and many lasts. Right?
Yeah. Correct. Go through the first list first.
The first is that we have two guests for the first time, and we are using new mics.
Can even see the brand if you look.
Yes.
Wow.
And then we are also sitting on stools for the first time because we have two guests.
Yeah.
The last, because this will be the last, guys, for those of you who are listening, the last podcast guest to be in the studio.
Correct.
So, and the last
Honored.
guest are brothers, right? Mr. Jonathan and Andrew Ng. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Arigato, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. It's an honor to be on the podcast.
Yeah,
the
man.
final
It's
podcast, my friend.
for those of y'all who follow our IG or whatever, you know that we also appeared on their podcast. So is this the first time we're interviewing podcasters? Technically, Bradley is the first lah.
Yeah.
True.
Bradley is the first lah, right? But yeah,
Well, Bradley is a high bar to beat, my friend.
yeah, the
He's
most complete,
smart, man. Fuck, man. Two of us are like empty shells, bro.
the most complete human being. Yeah. Anyway, enough about Bradley.
Almost Buddha.
So, for those of you listening, usually we get all these sort of high finance sort of expert on, and you might be wondering why we're getting podcasters on, right? And they're not even in the financial space.
Yeah, man.
Not even close.
But what we want is to bring some sort of diversity, right? We want to bring people who are not in the industry to see how they look at money, because we are all in the bubble
Correct.
all the time.
Yes.
We think of money a certain way,
Yeah.
and we think that is the world, and then we are like, why should I go out of that world? Because this is where finance is,
Yeah,
right? So who cares how people outside finance manage their finances? Not important anyway. Probably not rich,
Yeah. And do you remember the conversation we had?
But I'm explaining to you some of the mindset,
Correct.
right?
Okay,
Of people
okay.
in the space, right? Because naturally, people who are good with money will gravitate towards that cluster. So we want to get out of that cluster. Yes, you were saying something.
Yeah, remember the conversation we had with a friend, and we asked her what was her impression about the stock market, and remember what was her answer to us?
Yeah, it was crazy. There was this girl we met.
Yeah.
We know she's that wealthy, right? She made $1 million, I think, before 27, something like that.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And she said, "Oh, stock market. Oh, you mean the only thing I know is Hong Kong dramas and then green bar, red bar."
Wow.
That's what she said.
Right.
Why Hong Kong dramas?
Because a lot of Hong Kong dramas about scandals about stock market, insider trading, 炒股票嘛. That's where the 炒股票 came from.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that is so we are always very interested, because what we do is we want to connect high finance with the wider public. So we are always very interested in seeing like the spectrums and seeing how basically these two parties need to talk together, right? Because
We're the bridge. Think of it this way.
try to be a bridge. So we want to start from the basic, right? It's not so much your life story, but the part about your life story where you, for example, your first contact with money, like when was the first time you, like, and what are the impressions it left you, right? Because some people have different experiences. So since we have two guys, maybe start with Andrew first, right?
Sure. Alphabetical order.
Nice.
For sure.
Always the case in front.
With the middle class.
Yeah,
remember?
the middle class with J.
So like, when was the first time like you can remember thinking about money, and what were your impressions of it?
I don't know. I feel money to me as a kid was very one-dimensional. It's honestly not that complicated.
Okay.
That's not what I remember.
My dad will give me an allowance.
Okay.
I will use that allowance to buy whatever I want. There's no such saving is just like a means to get what I want.
Okay.
That's it.
So that means if you want that cropper, then you have to save that extra.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. And I guess my tastes were like booster packs at the time, like Pokemon cards, right?
Oh, yeah.
And we would get like 5 ringgit, 10 ringgit a week, something along those lines, right? Then you have to save to get those booster packs.
How much was it?
At the time, it was like 12 or 14 ringgit around there.
11.90 to be exact.
Sure. Right.
At Just Go.
Remember?
Yeah. And then you get like 10 ringgit per week, and then you're like, God damn it, now I gotta wait
Oh, okay.
until it's like 2 weeks before I get my booster pack.
Wow.
And then once I get enough, I buy the booster pack. That's it. It's really all it is to it as a kid.
Did you sacrifice food in order to get a booster pack? Have you done that before?
100%, yeah. 100% without even
That's
denying
all.
it. Yeah.
Isn't it every kid
Yeah.
like in our generation? Yeah.
So
Sacrificial.
I feel like at least for me, I feel our parents didn't really educate us about money to the degree that I would have hoped they did.
Okay.
Not that I put blame on them, right?
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
it is what
of
it
course,
is.
of course.
But yeah, I think my understanding of money was very, very one-dimensional.
Okay.
So about Jonathan.
I think Andrew was much better at managing his money than me. Even until today, if you ask me, like the stupid shit I buy, I just curse.
No. He has already cursed already.
Oh, is it?
I just realized that after I said
So
it.
we are going to put a warning.
disclaimer.
Yeah, warning.
I'm
This
so
is
sorry.
non-children
I'm
content.
so
I
sorry.
lasted 2 minutes.
It's fine.
The moment, the moment people watch
is
this, it's gonna be like, these two
so
brothers
sorry,
are
man.
foul mouth.
I'm so sorry.
So Andrew, I think, managed his money a lot better. Same, I think we got around the same allowance, more or less.
Do you remember what it was?
Yeah, I do. I remember it was 10 ringgit per week.
Okay.
Standard 1 to standard 6, and then from 1 to form 5 is 20 ringgit a week.
Mm.
And my dad is damn like, he's routine based, so he would put 4 ones, then wrap it with a 1, then 4 ones, wrap it with a 1, then he put
so
it back.
banker.
Correct. And then he would leave it on our table or something every Sunday
Yeah.
in preparation for Monday.
Wow.
Then
talk about
Andrew and I will be
system.
like, ready to buy booster pack.
Yeah, dude. So Sunday, right? Sunday we'll have like family dinner, casual, hawker, right? Okay. Then we go back home, we open the room door, right? We see the packet of money, they were like, yeah. Man. Yeah, tell me more.
But it went up to 20. Then after that, when we were in college, it's 50. For me, it's 50. I'm not sure about Andrew. But in Taylor's, 50 was actually quite difficult to survive because I had to take bus all the way to Taylor's, and I live like in Oakland Road area.
Okay,
it's quite
so
far.
before you head to college, right? I'm just curious. You're a bit older than he is, right?
Yeah,
So
I'm 3 years older.
you guys had the same allowance? Like the same
Primary and secondary was the jump. So if let's say he went to secondary, then he became...
Oh.
Yeah. That's right.
Oh, interesting.
But the format stayed the same, right?
Yeah.
Whatever
Right.
he got at primary, secondary, and college is what I got at primary, secondary, and college.
right.
Just some context for the audience, because today, I don't know whether kids can survive on a 5 ringgit allowance a week.
I don't think
week,
so. I
yeah.
seriously don't
You
think so.
can,
Uh-huh.
if you're not in KL.
Oh,
Confirm you can.
Seremban.
Yeah.
but what... He's from
No, yeah,
Seremban.
because
But Silpa's pretty good.
Yeah,
Silpa and
yeah.
Seremban.
So, how much could 1 ringgit a day buy you then?
Primary school, I can. You want to answer first or not? I don't know.
Primary school,
Our life a bit weird, dude.
I feel you could get a plate of rice with an egg on top with 1 ringgit,
Okay.
right? Which
Okay.
was
That's
enough
street
to
pricing.
enough to get you through recess at
Okay.
10:20 in the morning.
Okay.
And then you go home by 1,
Okay.
right? So it's basically brunch, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what it could get you. 1 meal. You get to
meal.
choose whichever meal you want.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
the baller is the guy who gets 2 eggs. Then you're like, wow,
Yeah, bro.
1 ringgit 50 cents, dude.
I was just about to go to that, right? Because one of the things that so my mom actually didn't like to give me a lot of allowance. So she would give me food and all that. It's like you don't need allowance because I'm gonna pack food for you, which I didn't like. Because it's like when you pack food, everyone buy food. Then
Yeah.
So for me, you all won't believe this lah, but it was like 1 ringgit a month.
Yeah. No, I heard somewhere, one of your videos, I think, it was 5 cents a day, something like that.
That's if you divide it by
Yeah. Something along those
Yeah,
lines.
it
1
was.
ringgit a month? How do you get the 1 ringgit? Did she
They
just,
just give me like that lor.
1 ringgit?
Yeah, and then ang pao money, she she's a custodian for it
Oh,
until I'm
no.
21. You know, custodian.
The question is, why did she even bother giving you 1 ringgit?
I don't know.
Significant, probably just a symbolic
I don't know.
that one. No?
I remember like when she gave me 5 ringgit. Like she was, I don't know why it was such a big deal. She gave me 5 ringgit, and then when I lost it, right, it was a massive deal.
Oh my god! I remember
Bruise were made.
when my allowance was 5 ringgit because I was in standard 1 at the time.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
standard 1 in Street KL,
Yeah.
food is provided. So my parents would give me 5 ringgit only, but only for that first year. Then after that, they give me 10 lah. And they used to give me, right, I don't know whether people still remember this. It's the 1 ringgit coin.
Oh yes.
Oh,
yes,
yeah, the gold one, right?
the gold
My
one.
dad would stack the 5 coins and just give. So I would think I'm like Scrooge McDuck if I could keep all of it one day and put it into a pool. But obviously, realistically, if you jump in the pool for 1 ringgit, you would die, lah, right? Because it's solid, right?
That's a very interesting duck.
Yeah, so I remember when I was in Perhimpunan in the morning recess. No, what's Perhimpunan?
Assembly.
Assembly, yeah, the
that's
morning
the word.
assembly.
Yeah.
So last time in
The
Street,
the emo part of the day, lah.
bro. Then you
Yeah,
sing the
emo.
Garaku, and then like, what's the point?
There
right?
you see who gets hit and who gets
right.
praised.
Super cult like.
I still remember that day, right? It was my first week in school,
Yeah.
and in the hall, right, in Street KL last time it was all wooden. So I dropped my 1 ringgit, you know. Then it rolled, right? I was chasing after it, and then it went into the
Dead.
Yeah, dude. Until now, I still think about it. I'm like, it's a
Until now.
it's a movie, right? I'm like, I lost my
Slow mo.
I still remember that.
That's
man.
yeah. But to be fair, I think when high school, I did get 50 ringgit a month, which is still pretty. It's not good.
ringgit
It's not a lot, actually.
It's not a lot. So anyway, so one thing I want to know from both of y'all, right, and which is what were some of the things that you guys were like money ideas, indirectly or directly, money sort of principle habits that you guys like glean from your parents, good or bad?
I think you should go with Andrew first. Andrew is probably better at this.
From our parents.
Yeah, because obviously all of us, our beliefs, a lot of it are rubbed off from our parents, right? So money is no different unless you stay with your uncle or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So probably to help you or guide you, things like, did your father change a car every 2 years?
Right.
So things, or did he was he doing any side hustle to get in extra income?
I'll give you like
Yeah.
for example, peculiar to myself, right?
Yeah.
So my dad has this thing against like if you have a choice to use the physical gate, because my house, the gate, right, it's electric, but then there's a side gate where it's physical. If you
Use
have a
the
choice,
physical.
use the physical because you're wasting electricity.
Correct.
So that is the kind of thing.
insane.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
damn.
Astro, the old days,
Cut.
you need to switch it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say you need to switch it off.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm just saying that's
That is
the
frugality, man.
That's
Yeah.
nuts. So yeah,
Any particular peculiarities that your parents used to have?
Yeah, I think need to provide context first, lah, right?
Yeah.
So our dad is a corporate man.
Okay.
He used to work in Maybank decades.
Okay.
Right. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
So I think our mom is the more entrepreneurial one.
Okay.
I think I would, if I learned any financial insights from anyone, it would be my dad.
Okay.
I think maybe he never explicitly told us this, but it felt like he wanted us to sort of follow in his footsteps. Not necessarily work in a bank, but to go for
A corporate job.
corporate safety kind of
setting.
yeah, exactly. I don't know. I think aside from that, I don't feel like he taught us any long-term financial planning, to be honest with you.
I think he
I-
tried.
Maybe I don't even
But
think he
he's
tried
like,
for me,
he
honestly.
complicates it. He complicates
or
things.
how like
So, like for example, I remember when I've said this on the YCS podcast before, where like I asked my dad, "Hey, Dad, what do you think of investing in stocks?" Then he's like, yeah, you don't even know anything, like you go and learn how to save first."
Oh yeah. I remember you saying this. Yes.
So I remember when I was younger, I asked Dad, like, "What do you do?" Then he was like, "I work in a bank." Then I'm like, anybody can work in a bank, Dad. You can be a janitor also, right? Like, can you please provide more
Context.
So Dad explained about how he would collect debt in a way, because people who take loans from banks, he would find solutions as to how that new business to recover it and then pay back. So that's the context of what he worked as.
I see.
His car would change maybe like every 5 years, and that's because he was forced to.
Systematically.
Yeah. Because he was forced to. The bank would be like, it's 5 years.
Change your
we
car.
give you a
Because
amount.
company car lah.
Yeah.
I see.
Or at least partial. So he would have to pay the remaining.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
His life in a bank was very different from, I think, a regular person's life, I feel.
Okay.
Like,
Really?
a lot of things were set out for him I think working in a bank, you have a lot of benefits, right? Let's put it that way, right?
Correct.
Yeah, your housing loan gets
Health for whole family cow team.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I guess from a car perspective, it was just very methodical. Like it was very, very structured. I think at like whatever
I still remember all cars.
Yeah, whatever age he was in his career, right? You get that car, it's worth 150K, let's say.
Okay.
5 years from now, find a car that's 200K.
Yeah.
Understand.
5 years from then,
Because of
find a car that's
the-
250. Yeah, it's
Got the
super
allowance
structural.
and
Correct,
all that thing.
correct.
I see.
Exactly.
Were there any like patterns in terms of like when you guys go out for meals or anything?
Yeah, dude. Actually, funny you brought that up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
That is so methodical. Now that you say, now that you think about
Did he like you know the wet tissue?
Uh-huh.
Like for me, I have
He
a
will take
habit.
it,
No, I will take it and I will bring it back to the cashier because I don't want to pay that 50 cents.
Oh, I see.
Because it's like hello,
Yeah.
50 cents per wet tissue. You know,
That wasn't like that lah. I
Okay.
think that was the type at groceries he would
yeah.
he
Oh my
would
God.
choose the rotten fruit because it's on discount.
Oh,
Really?
Oh, even until today.
So he will
Until
cut
today
off
also
the,
actually, to be fair.
what type of fruit, like bananas?
Watermelon.
Blueberries, watermelon, whatever. He'll just cut off the rotten parts. He still can eat. It's so cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I'm like, Dad, I think you can skimp out a lot of things, but not the things that go inside your body, lah. Right? Then he's like, hey, you don't complain, you know. Then I'm like,
The incremental savings is very minimal, mind you. If you look at a quarter watermelon, right? Okay, the ones that pre-cut and sealed in plastic one, right? You buy the rotten one for, I don't know, let's say 3 ringgit, like dirt cheap.
Yeah.
You buy the freaking fresh one, right?
It's too late, bro.
Fresh one, right? It's gonna cost you like, I don't know, 7 ringgit, like,
Yeah,
8
yeah.
ringgit.
Yeah.
but
So-
he's odd because he would save there, but tennis rackets galore.
Oh,
So this is the hypocrisy, right? Because he would like, hey John, how many football boots do you need? Then I would counter like, how many tennis rackets you need? Then he like, you shut up. Cannot even fight. Can't even argue this man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this is the thing I see lah. So I'm like, okay, this guy, I know he purposely save out at certain places.
Yeah.
But certain places he just whack on you.
I think one thing I liked about that specifically is during holidays, we would have annual vacations to Cherating lah, right? Okay. Very random place because he bought time sharing.
Okay.
Horrible idea, by the way. Okay. So anyway, we go Cherating every year.
Okay.
And when we do go on a vacation, he has this low-key tendency to encourage us to spend. Yes. To enjoy the holiday.
So it's like you don't
Why I
like
don't
the
remember this
meal. You
thought?
don't think or don't cringe or whatever. You just let loose lah.
And then like if we were to go to, I don't know, Al Iksan in rural Cherating.
Oh, yeah,
Kelantan,
that's when
right?
he will ball.
He'll tell you, just get whatever you want.
Yeah.
That's
And
unique,
He wanted you to enjoy the holiday.
So it's like a switch lah. So the Scrooge mood just turns off lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I remember now that you mentioned that, I never even noticed it. But New Zealand, he was like, just go.
Exactly. Yeah. Just do it.
By
Blank check.
watermelon or
Blank check.
Dude, you know,
Yeah.
we went skydiving.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right. Then I asked, because at the time I was vlogging.
Yeah,
So the guy asked me, oh, you do videos? I'm like, yeah. Do you want to hire another videographer to shoot you jump out of the plane instead of just the GoPro? Then my dad said, just go.
what?
Dude, you know how much? You know? It's
much?
like extra 1K one, you know.
Like NZD,
Yeah.
Another guy to jump out the plane with you, to record you coming out of the plane.
1,000 New Zealand dollars.
No, I think it was like 350. Then
Okay,
plus
okay.
another
Yeah,
GoPro, plus
Ringgit
altogether,
lah,
it's like
ringgit.
500 New Zealand. So 2K ringgit. Ish.
Wow.
1.8, 2. He's
Wow.
like, just go. Then I'm like, sure or not? It's a trap.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
So I speak to like some parents who can afford like annual holidays and all that, and one of the reasons they say is because they want like their children to taste the good life, so that inspires them. So are you guys inspired? Like is it working? You know, I'm not saying that that's your dad's intention.
Yeah, I think that was my mom's.
Yeah, I was
intention.
gonna say.
Okay. Let's talk about mom now.
Yeah.
You want to go or you want to go?
She is and was a more lavish person.
Okay.
Okay.
And she would give us the taste of the good life.
Mm.
So I think when we were younger, specifically, we used to go out with just my mom. So 2 of us plus my mom.
Ooh.
Yeah, when we go to KLCC normally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, KLCC specific.
yeah.
Okay,
No lah,
okay.
not just got others. Depends on her
But
mood lah.
yeah,
Okay.
and generally we will go to more atas places.
I see.
Yeah, whether it's food or whether it's the retail places that we go to.
I see.
Generally more atas.
Okay.
And she would spoil us there.
Ah.
Yeah. Not
Okay.
to like absurd degrees,
Uh-huh.
but enough to give us the
Little
taste
spoils
of the good
little
life.
spoils.
Did you like notice the difference and was it brought up in a conversation?
Oh
Yeah.
man,
We never talked about it, I think.
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Okay, so right, the story goes how my dad would always tell us to save. Right? Learn how to manage your lifestyle expectations. All this lah, right? So he would say things like that. So it's not directly like, oh, you should invest in this stock, this is the method and all that. He would just tell you general advice. And then one time I was so pissed, I was like, why would you bring us on all these holidays? Like, I think we tried caviar at 9, you know. Yeah.
Wow.
So I was like, why would you let us try all this? Like, what's the point? Like, if you let us try it, then we know what that is, then our lifestyle will go
Yeah,
upward.
the inflation will be
Get you hooked.
Yeah, I was telling them
Give you
lah.
cocaine a bit.
Yeah. It's like give you a bit of drug, right? Then you make you addicted. Then I'm like, you know, if you didn't do all this, you just give us gardenia with you know gardenia with the butter and then sugar.
Oh yeah.
You know that generic Malaysian bread. I didn't even know about that, you know, until standard 5, you know, until people brought it to school.
Wow, atas.
Because I thought
some
like,
people put like Milo powder also.
Yeah.
yeah. But for us, it's like peanut butter and jelly, right? So
Wow.
westernized stuff.
Yeah.
So when I see that, I'm like, God damn, that's really cheap.
That's really good, man.
But it's so good.
It's so good.
Because
It's
when I
really
went
so
to my
good.
friend's
It's so
house,
good.
it's like, hey bro, you want butter sugar? I'm like, it's kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
He was like, dude, just eat it.
Actually, I think it's a great segue because I want to know, right? Because one of the things that if you attend school, and I know you've been to a private school, you've
And
been to a government school, right?
Yeah.
Like, what are some of the things that shocked you, like in terms of financial habits or lifestyles of like your
Yeah.
colleagues, apart from the gardenia office?
Bro, this is why I got damn
Please,
goosebumps.
please come.
So when I came from 3KL, right? 3KL is food provided, ma, and the food they give is not bad. Man. It's like nasi
Yeah,
lemak
yeah.
or chicken
Yeah,
rice, all
yeah,
that,
that's
ma, right? Because it's part of the
fees.
tuition fees, right? So when you go to public school, that's when you're on your own,
Yeah, pretty much.
right? And then when you see kids that like come to school, right, and they don't have like the exercise books are all like, you know, the exercise book when you open it up to the
The
middle,
brown one, right?
when you open up in the center, there's a stapler, and then you pull out the
Yeah,
paper.
yeah, that's
yes.
yeah, correct.
Dude, all theirs all hangus one. It's like one shell and then like 4 pages inside. They will just
Yeah.
pour everything out because they'll play all the football games and the pencil games. So when you see that and then you see their textbook conditions, then you see what they can afford. Like, today I cannot. I lost my money. But actually, I don't know what they do with their money, lah, right? So when
Yeah,
they come
yeah.
to school and then they can't eat, I'm like, wow. So I will like, once in a while, I'll just pay for that guy or whatever. Only. I feel damn bad, lah. Like, dude, how can I eat in front of a guy that's not
Yeah.
eating, right?
Yeah.
Then I feel worse about myself eating, you know. I can't like look away and eat, right? So I'll just like give sometimes here and there. So I think it was quite far apart, you know. Especially in 3KL, right? When people ask you what type of house you stay in, then you're like, huh? Terrace house is so small one. That's the type of conversation they have, you know.
Serious,
Wow.
8 years old, 9 years old, they ask you, my house got lift one, your house got lift. I'm like, yeah, lift.
Got condo lah, condo.
Don't think that's what they meant.
That's the type of questions they will ask. And then
Yeah.
versus in public, right? They'll be like, wow, how come your pens and pencils so nice one? Because you use G2 or you use the
Yeah.
Pilot shaker. You got shaker means
Shaker pen, yeah.
Atas.
shaker
Atas,
pencil.
man.
Wow,
Yeah,
this guy got shaker pencil.
You are the 1%.
Yeah, that's the degree of
Yeah.
level, lah, I feel. I don't know about you, lah, but mine I was 4 years 3KL. His was 1 year only.
Oh.
I think 1 year in 3KL, you
can
can
see.
you can tell a lot. And I think the summary here, right, is just comparison is the thief of joy, lah, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I feel I don't know about it's good you brought up this point because like my daughter she went to a Montessori, and there was one time the VP for Coca-Cola Malaysia was the son was the classmate. So you know when they do parties, right, it's like Berjaya Times Square, they book 1/4 of it.
They book 1/4 of what?
of the theme park lah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, and she's gonna go to a public school next year.
Oh.
Yeah, so I mean, secondary school, primary school, she's been in private school. So it's the struggle that when your peers innocently, because I'm pretty sure we had that conversation. Hey, your house terrace or whatever, right? That 8-year-old did not have the logic comprehension to know that it's not something polite to say.
Yeah,
don't know, this one-
I think so. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think kids are very, very honest and very
Yeah, it's
innocently
more
honest.
like direct and then without filtering. it
Some
kinda-
most yes.
Yes.
But I think that guy who asked got intention.
Oh
Yes,
Yeah, yeah. I
How
think
could you tell, man?
This guy, right? I don't even want to say his name, lah, bro. He's too powerful, lah. I still remember his name also. And I can tell you after the podcast, lah.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
this
yeah.
guy, his dad owns like multiple hotel chains, all that one. I think I could tell by the way he asked, because it's the way he asked other people as well. And
It's
he's like,
condescending lah.
yeah, there's a difference
I see.
because if you're curious, you would ask, like, hey, where you stay?
Mm.
Versus what type of house you stay. Your one got a lift. Mine, right, got glass dome and all that. You know, then I'm like, I got 10 cars. You know, I'm like, why you need 10 cars?
Yeah.
How big is your family? That type of thing. I'm going Alaska for holiday. That type of thing. So there's a difference. But some people ask you like where you stay. Then
It's an innocent question. lah.
yeah, but this one quite hardcore.
Understand.
So okay, so we talked quite a lot about what you gleaned from your dad, right? And only a little bit about your mom. So what other things, right? Because we gotta give mom some love as well. right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I think
Some
I
spotlight.
work with my mom, bro.
I think this one.
We're gonna talk about that also.
John should take center stage here with this one.
What did I learn from my mom?
Yeah, like
Don't talk about the working part first.
No,
Let's
no,
talk
no.
about
I'm
the
just saying
financial
like financial
first.
habits.
For financial habits.
Yeah, because like I've never seen a family where the mom and the dad has the same financial habits, the same
Correct.
exact
Different,
same,
yeah.
even like 80%
different.
similarity also.
Rare.
Very
my
rare
dad,
lah.
my mom, same thing. I bet your
Mine is polar opposites, man.
polar opposites. Right?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so
Yeah, my
so-
dad's the baller. My mom's the like, wow,
Grip,
that
safe.
machine can repair.
I see.
Yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah.
so
My mom is more of a priority is time type of thing. Maybe it's because it stems from an entrepreneur background, right? So she doesn't want to waste time. So she would pay for time. So example, if let's say there was something that is, let's say a computer rosak or something in the office, it's like just go buy a new one. Because if you need to repair, I can't get a computer, whatever. Just I go get a new one and then repair that one. Then at least someone else can use it later on. So that's the mindset. But what did I learn in terms of financial stuff from my mom is to enjoy life, I think.
Really,
Not really to conserve. But I remember there was this moment in time where she was going into that whole property investment. I don't know whether you remember this.
What?
Yeah. There was a
Mom
period.
going into property.
I was like 11.
I'm learning here, bro.
I was 11 at the time, and then she told me, "Hey, you come to the apartment with me, then we help clean up." Something like that. I remember you were there as well. Maybe you're too young.
wow.
Yeah.
3 years different. Yeah.
8 years old, bro.
I mean, quite young
I
to
was
be
on
fair.
full-on
We were all
autopilot
thinking
already.
about booster packs and Game Boys only.
Hey, by the way, what booster packs were you guys buying? What was the-
TCG the Pokemon card one.
No, what was the era? Because they always
Bro, we bought all, bro.
Yeah, we bought from the start. Yeah.
Yeah, we bought booster box for Ang Pao also with Ang Pao money. You know, like
yeah. I know
box
there's like 30,
36
30 yeah.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So continue. Yeah.
So I would go with my mom, then fix all the property. I think it was like 2 years in, and she's like, I'm losing money this one. Then I just sell off only Then I was like, wow, she really just give up like that one. So it was like that moment in time, like, oh, maybe investing is quite of a negative thing in my life. Even dad also, I remember my mom told me, dad lost like X amount, That's why dad upset. I'm like, huh?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's interesting. So wait, your parents will actually tell you that they lost
Yeah.
a lot of money and they even give you the amount.
They got give the amount. But then I was like, I was so young, dude. I'm like, huh?
So there's no context. to the
No
amount.
context. They would just say I lost the amount or dad lost the amount. I would pick up on these things only, but I don't go like, why? How did you lose that? I just go
Suddenly, 8-year-old John converts to 27-year-old John. It's like, yeah, how did you lose that money? Did you give me a thorough analysis?
What was your due
annual
diligence?
report. Did you not read the annual report?
Stocks or stinks?
So these are things I would pick it up, but then like along the way, then I would just like, oh. So when I ask questions, it's funny how they just turn me down because they're like,
So
so there's
Right.
this a bit of a negative connotation at that
So
time.
it's like a
see.
download, but when there is like you're trying to establish a bilingual conversation.
then it's tough.
Bilingual, bi-channel.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Then after they just put you down. But it's I think a very parental thing for them.
This is
It's
quite
like,
Asian thing also.
yeah, power play. Make you feel
Like
like-
you don't know anything.
Yeah. Then when you tell them something they don't know, they're like, this one so all young people.
It's like speaking of the not knowing part, right? What's interesting from a financial perspective about my parents is that between the two of them, they don't have clarity about what's happening.
Okay, please.
Oh yeah, you need to
So
unpeel
when
that.
I
that
when I,
one's true as well.
when I spoke to my mom, or when I do speak to my mom about finances, which is very rare, but when I do, she knows nothing about my dad, financially speaking.
Wow.
Maybe she knew how much what was his last salary that he drew back when he retired
Okay.
8 years ago,
Okay.
which is completely arbitrary today.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
true.
okay, that's a very important point. Do they discuss like, is there a shared pot where certain things are being spent for the
No.
house?
It's a discussion, but it's not a shared pot. So,
Okay,
for example, my place, right? When they bought that house.
Yes.
My dad said, okay, this is on point as to what Andrew says, right?
Okay.
Because my dad was like, I'll buy you a place.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
But I'll make sure that place you don't even renovate or anything, you just move in.
Okay.
So the condition of my place, you both
Yeah.
have been into my place, right?
Right.
It's actually damn nice. It's really good condition. They even like the parquet floor was polished.
Okay.
All good. In fact, move in.
Condition.
Yeah, condition. My mom was the one that said, I'll renovate it. But why would you renovate a perfectly fine house?
Mm.
I mean, if you want to change aircon here and there, bring some furniture.
Wiring,
Okay, right? Yeah, can lah. But she want to rip out the whole thing,
Wow.
So the
There's no
miscom
synergy.
there
Yeah.
was ridiculous, because you pay good money for a good condition house. But then you renovate.
But did the renovation happen?
Yeah, it did. That's why I ripped out the
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, the roof for the podcast. Yeah.
yeah, everything. No, they ripped out the roof also. They ripped out the
Wow.
roof. It's like, hey, feng shui, very bad. You must let the bad energy go and all that.
Wow.
Yeah, everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the miscom there is clear because they don't know what's happening also. Because I don't think they even want to have that discussion.
Ah.
Yeah.
Correct.
I think it was a very tough time for them as parents
Okay.
to decide how to navigate the purchase of John's home.
Wow.
Really?
Yes.
Serious?
Yeah.
I thought it was difficult for
but-
me, bro. I was in the middle of all this.
But they didn't get into fights or anything. It's just that the conversation never happened, I'm guessing.
I actually don't know because they go to bed at night and then like you hear them talk but then you only hear like blah, 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 or stuff like that.
Yeah, I think historically and even until today, when they do argue, they don't argue in front of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as kids, we don't have very much insight as
Okay.
to the conversations they have.
Okay.
But I do know for a fact that they did argue about your place.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. No, I mean,
I remember they argued with me a lot. lah.
They got a vent somewhere, bro.
you're the punching bag, bro.
I was definitely
But
the punching
that, so
bag
that's
2018.
so I think okay. I really want to talk about like the house, but that is a little bit of a skip, right? Because
Yeah.
we're really talking about your high school days. And all that.
Yeah.
So when you enter the college world and then the uni world, right? So now you've sort of you have one wing now, right? You're not entirely two wings, right?
Yeah.
So what changed, right, in college when it comes to money for you guys?
You know,
And-
funny,
and
I
then
met
uni.
that same guy who asked me that question.
The same guy? What?
The same guy who asked me that house
that
meeting.
guy in
Bro,
primary school.
It's like an arc, like you meet that
Wow.
guy in One Piece, the first
Yeah,
arc,
yeah,
right? And
yeah.
then like third season,
Yeah, man.
he
He's
returns.
back. You gotta reuse the character.
bro.
Inception.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And he was
actually.
there. He was, but I don't think he remembered me, but he was driving like a Merc. Turns out he was like the guy around town, going around town. I don't know whether I should go beyond that, lah. But this
okay.
guy was out there, lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can tell that that lifestyle kind of led to that also.
The trajectory.
yes. But I think college, you can see, it's just like going back to private school.
Ah,
It's like
especially in
for-
Taylor's, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Even I met the same people from Srikel, by the way.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because side by side only, what?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
KL Taylor's,
Yeah.
right?
But yours was Lakeside, right? I think.
My next like,
Yeah. And I was in SS15 at the time when the transition happened. But he was
the
in
Asia Cafe era.
Yeah.
Asia Cafe, right?
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
think it's when in college, right, you see the true difference in wealth already.
Really, okay,
Yeah,
explain.
because okay, so when you're in private school, as kids, you can't really articulate how much money you have.
Yeah.
Of course.
There's only a certain extent, like I got 20 Charizard, fire spin, 100 damage. You're like, wow, this guy crazy.
Until today would be worth a lot.
Actually, today would be worth it. First edition.
Yeah.
Right? Then you go to government school. This guy, nobody there has Pokemon cards also. I think like 2 or 3 people only. Right? Then you're like, wow, this is so different.
Yeah.
Then you go back Taylor's. Then you know that this guy comes to school with a different car every week, that shit. Then you're like,
Ah.
wow, damn. Andrew also got lost in one of his friend's house. That's the
bro.
difference.
What? Yeah, his house is too big.
You need GPS coordinates to
You
get.
can get lost.
I
You know.
genuinely got lost.
Can't find his
massive.
way. yeah. That's like, dude, you can't even get lost, right, in a regular like building because it's quite like linear, but like you
Yeah,
live
yeah.
in the middle,
Yeah.
so you can get lost.
You
That's
need
the
a map,
difference.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a
difference?
room. He lives with his parents. He doesn't have a room, He has a space.
What does that even mean?
Yeah,
I don't know.
This is my
it's,
space.
it's a different world,
Wow.
It's a I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
It's different bubble
It's a
lah.
whole segment. I
Yeah.
don't know what you want to call it for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. I'll just before I go back, guys, I just want to share this story because I have friends who know essentially people in Malaysia where if I mention the Tan Sui's name, right, everyone will know lah. Okay, so there's this particular Tan Sui. Again, if I mention, you're sure no one. After the podcast, I can tell you guys. He has a house, and then behind him there's a mountain. Okay,
Okay.
so he's afraid that people will build houses in the mountain. He bought the mountain.
It's ridiculous.
So I like.
How do you buy a mountain?
Yeah, you go to a mountain shop. Like what's the SOP?
I believe. Okay, I'm giving more clues now, but I believe the family is in real estate.
Oh,
So they know how to buy a mountain.
Wow.
They know how to buy a mountain lah. Let's put it that way.
I wouldn't even know where to start. I think if I Google it, right, you wouldn't find an answer. And that's how you know it's
got a
serious.
point. He's got a point. Google it, you probably don't know how to buy a mountain also.
Yeah, how to buy a mountain. You may know how to buy an island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
mountain
actually,
is very
yeah.
difficult, right? And who are the authorities? This
Probably government lah.
yeah, definitely. But which one? Like,
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you-
is it MBBG? Is it?
hey, sign up, beli tu.
Bukit
Gunung
Bukit
ah.
Bukit tu.
Macam na.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so anyway, so one of the interesting things that, like, for example, when you go to uni, right, is that now you are given more allowance because you need to survive. But then your parents are not there to tell you do this, do that.
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah,
Or if they try to call you, you just say, time zone, something. I was busy. I got, you have a lot more excuses, right? So now you have a lot more freedom managing a lot.
Uni
more
is in
money.
like when we studied
College,
abroad.
Yeah, because you guys were
Yeah.
in the US, if I remember, right? You're in SF, I believe you're in New York,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
that's right.
opposites. Right? So,
Yeah, man. Purposely one.
so how is it like both of you managing,
Finance.
right? Because now it's no more about Pokemon cards anymore.
Definitely
right?
not.
Yeah.
lah. It's about
Now it's
Game
green
Boy,
cards.
bro.
Now it's green cards.
It's
right?
the own- You can go first, Drew. Go for it.
I think our college days were split into two parts, right? You got local in 2 years and then overseas 2
Yep,
years.
yep,
I think
yep.
locally 2 years, I butchered my finances.
Huh.
Completely butchered it. Mostly I had a girlfriend at the time.
Oh yeah, man. Actually, that was
Just
tough.
blow everything away.
That was
baller
a
lah.
difficult time for Andrew.
Yeah,
I
it's
always
a dark
want to
time.
get into the psychology of like, because you obviously were from the background where, some financial money management was kind of inculcated.
Some, yeah.
Yeah. But then a girl comes in and kind of say,
Oh.
what principles?
Correct.
Financial principles. Is that-
Boundaries all redrawn.
Yeah, there's no rationale for it. It's completely irrational. So I think I blew all the money I had zero in savings.
Right.
Whatever money that came in from my dad, just blew it away.
I see.
Yep. And then I roll like paycheck, like essentially, right? I think in uni days, in like when I lived in New York alone, things were very, very different. That was a turning point in my life where
Oh yeah.
I think I matured a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I think John would know who I was prior to New York.
Okay.
And when I came back, I was a whole different person.
Okay.
I even watched the vlogs that
You
show
should
you
watch.
sent over and then the one that you came
You
back.
should
I think the way you dress was different also.
Dude,
Yeah.
Everything
changed.
Hair,
Yeah.
everything, bro. Oh my god, it's
Yeah.
different, brother. Day.
Okay.
100%. Yeah, I think
Reincarnation.
in New York, I think when I first got there, Blizzard,
Okay.
worst Blizzard ever in past 100 years. MTA shut down for first time in 100 years.
Okay.
Right? I paid my tuition fees on my own. So my dad wired me money.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a lot of money, like tens of thousands of US dollars.
Okay.
I paid
Cash.
online.
Online.
Okay. Bank transfer, done. And then they said payment failed.
Oh.
So I thought, oh shit, I got to pay again. lah.
This only happens to Andrew, by the
So
way.
I pay again. Okay. Turns out both payments went through.
Oh man.
So now my bank account is at a deficit of like
Negative.
minus 27K USD. Okay.
Okay.
Not right.
to him,
Not
I
right. It's
swear.
a full on blizzard outside. Okay.
Okay.
You can't go out. You know.
Yeah.
Like physically, I think you might die if you stayed out for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of homeless people die.
Yeah.
because of the
100%.
blizzard also.
Yeah.
So then my mom and I were talking, and then she was like, okay, let me transfer you money. Whenever she transferred me money, it would contra the negative 27K.
Oh yeah, because it's a deficit, ma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
correct.
actually, unless she transferred 50K lah.
Yeah.
Correct.
Then you net positive 20 only.
So I had like $60 on me, and I had to survive the next 3 to 4 weeks before I could clear this payment issue with the uni.
With
gosh.
$60.
Yeah. So I ate like just plain pasta for like 3 weeks straight.
So that was a very big wake up call. I'm
Okay,
guessing.
yeah, that was a small wake up call. Okay, I have like ton of perseverance. Okay,
Okay.
so I got through that already, and then I realized I'm like flunking my tests.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I'm not really flunking. Like it was just terrible grades in general.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, what were you studying?
I was studying at that time communications, but I changed my major.
Okay.
Okay.
So
good
I
reason.
think I took philosophy at the time,
Okay.
and then I got like a C minus or something, and then it really just hit me after that. I'm like paying stupid amounts of money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing very well on my grades,
Mm-hmm.
and then after that I just completely changed. Just a total flip of switch.
You woke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I studied like a god. Yep. Ended up graduating like
People
god-like.
who are finance that are watching this, they're like, study like a god.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. I studied like
What
God,
is the-
okay? Did really well. And then I also worked multiple jobs throughout my time in the US.
Wow.
Yeah. So working like under table money, that kind of thing.
Okay. So this accumulation of these experiences, getting bad grades, realizing that you are getting parents' money and paying so much, right? When you started working, what was the feeling of your first paycheck?
Wait, in New York when you came back.
I think
New York,
in
right?
New
Because
York.
your first-
Yeah.
First paycheck.
My first paycheck was not a proper paycheck
Oh,
because you're not supposed to
yeah.
get a job
Yeah.
as a student
Yeah,
outside
yeah.
of campus anyway. A bunch
Yeah.
of rules, right?
yeah.
So my first paycheck was damn dodge, right?
Okay.
You just give me a random check and then I was supposed to bank it in.
Okay.
But it felt amazing. $750 US.
Wow. You still
yeah.
remember the amount?
Yep.
Do
Got
you,
it.
do you ball it?
No. Completely changed man, this one. Because after you mess up, right, you see your bank account at minus 27K, right? you know the feeling you can't afford to be poor anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. That was I saved a lot, worked multiple jobs.
Okay.
Picked myself up. Yeah. I think that was the turning point.
I'm just curious, right? So you paid the thing twice.
Yeah.
Then you
got back
you
the
got back the
27.
money lah.
Yeah, but it takes a set amount of time for you to clear this payments issue. Yeah. So in that time, I had just like $60 lah. Oh, havoc, you know.
But you used to have Popeye's chicken a lot also.
Yeah. But that was after I actually had money after that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Popeye's chicken is for homeless people, you know. Like all those
Oh,
fast
really?
food stuff in US, right? Like McDonald's, all that. It's really
Yeah,
for
yeah,
homeless
yeah.
people.
But then
different.
people use mukbang all the time. I see Popeye's chicken.
that one is
Wendy's.
different. But in New York is, and actually in the whole of US, it's quite bad.
Yeah.
A lot of homeless people.
Fast
go
food there is perceived to be the low of the low.
except
poor
In and
man's
Out
food
lah,
lah.
Yeah.
and Five Guys and Shake Shack, all that. Yeah.
Ah.
But McD, KFC, then you see a lot of like homeless people.
It's run down, man.
Yeah, it's quite bad.
And it tastes terrible, by the way.
Yeah.
I heard the KFC here is way better.
KFC here is top notch, man. It's premium. It's a premium meal, right?
Actually,
right. If you go to KFC, you spend-
you celebrate in KFC.
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
True.
So for how about SF, man? Less cold lah, I assume.
No, actually, SF is beautiful weather. It's like about 16, 18 Celsius whole year.
nice.
Only
Yeah.
1 week of it is like 36, 38 Celsius. 1 week or 10 days. They call it Indian summer. But other than that, I think SF was a very, very like relaxed, laid back. But then again, I went there very relaxed and laid back, and I came back the same. So I never really changed. In fact, the way I dress has never changed since I was a kid. Yeah, I probably wear only long pants up to ankle, wear shoes. You know, same thing lah. When I go SF, was same thing also. I just wear like a jacket on top. Finances wise, I feel like I was very, very cautious. I'm not a risk taker. So even with like payment stuff like Andrew, I had to pay my dad would wire them. Same thing lah, same process, right? But for me, I will be like, are you sure? I will go to the campus. I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure? I'm so cautious. I'm like,
Right.
I'll wait here. It's okay. So I wait like 1 hour.
Smart boy.
Yeah, I will always make sure all this happens on the dot one. Yeah. Other than that, I feel like I didn't really work extra jobs. I did like freelance stuff like designs, drawing, stuff like that, Photoshop. So I didn't really earn a lot as compared to Andrew outside of his campus or under table. Because SF is quite difficult over there to do it.
It's more strict, is it?
Yeah, I think it's a bit more strict. New York is quite condensed. You were in Manhattan, right, that time?
Yeah, Manhattan.
Yeah, Manhattan a bit easier lah. Because if you go Manhattan, you just go Chinese restaurant. Sure, they want people one.
Yeah.
But SF is like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't really do that. Then you go further out. Maybe like if you go an hour and a half away, then maybe in a Vietnamese pho place, they'll let you do under the table stuff. It's quite bare one, SF. Yeah. Only when you go into town. And when in town also, nobody wants.
I see.
Yeah, so quite competitive. But I did a lot of freelance stuff for restaurants. Shot a few videos here and there. Didn't do much. I actually enjoyed my time. Went to Europe for a month. After that, come back, same thing. Then come back Malaysia. Then first paycheck, 2.4k ringgit. Then I cry.
Before we go, I'm just curious, like if you were in the US, right, and doing what you guys did, do you all remember how much you managed to save up
I didn't even
in
save.
ringgit terms? Oh, you didn't. So you are like,
Yeah. Because mine was like my dad wire money and my extra stuff I get, it's like, how much only? Right? Freelance stuff, max also like 1k, 500 USD, that thing. That one also I like, hey, let's go have a nice meal. 100 plus USD. Then you're like, oh shit. How lah? His one can profit a lot because you can keep doing.
all the jobs you're doing and how much do you think you saved?
Oh, I did so many jobs. Mostly working for small businesses, doing whatever they needed.
You worked for a bridal company as well.
Yeah, I
right?
worked for a bridal
Wow.
company.
So how-
I saw like naked chicks everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, models.
Models
Yeah,
are
I don't know their
Nice.
names, lah, right? But they're just everywhere.
But he's like white noise really.
Yeah.
Like, so many naked
And
women.
everyone thinks I'm gay, I think. I have this theory, lah, because cannot be you so comfortable.
because he
right?
dresses so well. He dresses so well.
But you're really just the sum of the people around you, or the average of the people around you, right? In New York, they dress very well, and they're very, very smart in general, especially if you're in a university that's quite established.
Yeah.
He's in
Right?
Fordham.
You're very competitive.
Oh, you're for them. No
Yeah.
wonder lah.
very competitive, and so you just become that, lah, right? Or at least you get nudged in that direction.
Yeah.
So I worked in a bridal company. I worked in an events company.
Is it?
Yeah. And then I also worked, after I graduated, I worked full time at an e-commerce company.
Ah,
Yeah.
Jet, I think.
Yeah, jet.com.
how long was that?
About a year.
Okay,
So when I joined, they were just acquired by Walmart.com.
I see.
Yeah. So this e-commerce company called Jet was supposed to effectively act as Walmart.com
Ah,
to pivot the retail business into an e-commerce business.
I see.
Yeah. So at that time,
He was so stressed out.
Yeah.
So stressed out.
At that time, like you're getting an entry level pay,
Mm-hmm.
so about maybe $3-5
Okay.
a month.
Okay.
And I lucked out in terms of rent, finding a cheap place and stuff like that.
Yeah,
You
this
can,
place is so nice.
you can easily save maybe half your salary. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fairly comfortable.
And you were single then, lah, right?
I was in a relationship.
Okay.
Yeah. But a more stable one. So,
And she's also a hustler.
yeah, because we're all from New York, right? So everyone is like, hustle,
No,
hustle,
hers
hustle,
is
hustle.
really hustle mentality. Like parents own a store in Chinatown.
Oh.
Yeah.
Immigrant.
Work, roll up your sleeves.
But immigrant lah.
Parents were
Parents
first-gen
are-
immigrants.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Definitely. I think his one definitely more hustle and bustle. Lah. Mine was very laid back.
So it really does depend like where you go.
Mm.
That influences you a lot.
Yeah.
I think.
I kind of agree with that, lah, actually.
Yeah.
But the education wise, I feel it's the same, don't you think?
Uh,
For me, I didn't. Really
across the
like-
US, you mean?
Yeah, I feel like.
Probably more or less the same. But I
Yeah.
think a huge, like, I love that I studied philosophy growing
Yeah,
in,
true.
in the US.
Yeah.
Dude, he came
Oh,
back.
it's so good.
Allegory of the cave, all this guy,
Plato?
all like John. It's all about going to the cave.
Plato.
Yeah, the whole thing. But I think fundamental. Okay, there's the whole actual philosophy side of things. But then it teaches you how to structure your arguments,
Mm.
right? Your premise 1, premise 2, and then your conclusion, right? It's very fundamental.
Yes.
Right. Argument structure.
Correct.
And I feel Malaysian education just doesn't teach you that.
No, it's I completely understand.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in a family of teachers.
Right.
Right. And I think that this people use this phrase critical thinking skill. Right? Actually,
what
right?
does that mean, right?
Yeah, what does it mean?
No one even breaks down what it means. It's just
Yeah.
like, oh, it's fluff.
Okay, and the one thing I found out was there's this movie called The Blind Side. You know The Blind Side?
I haven't seen it, I think.
Okay.
SIDE
The Blind
or
Side.
SIGHT?
SIDE, The Blind
Okay.
Side, which is Sandra. It's a true story. Sandra Bullock, as the Christian character, she actually adopted a black guy,
Okay.
and he became an NFL footballer.
Oh, wow.
Hey, I think you guys sure know this. I think you guys sure know this movie. It was really big. It was
Yeah,
really
I
eye-catching
think
movie
now
lah.
that you say
feel
the
like I've seen
premise, I kind of get it.
Yeah,
already.
yeah. And the reason why I brought this up was because of there was a section in the movie where he had to write a critical piece,
Oh, okay.
which was about philosophy lah.
I see.
So they talked about something about bulls charging, which is about the American Civil War or something, right?
Sure.
So like watching this, I'm like, my daughter's almost the same age, right? I'm going to be that age, and I don't think she will ever. So she gets some history lessons from me because I love history,
Sure.
and she was showing me her history textbook and was like, "Oh my god, this is what you learn." And then in stark contrast to The Blind Side, where you know you're exposed to guys like Plato,
Yeah.
right, and all these kind of things, and the way different civilizations think, the way you
sure.
yeah,
Perspective is very different.
and that's why I said, oh my god, that's why sometimes it's so sad that in order for Malaysian kids to get that kind of exposure,
Gotta go abroad.
you gotta go abroad.
Really?
I feel so.
Yeah,
I think
really
with
believe
Indigo, there's a bit of an equalization. Lah.
Yeah.
But what I think your experience, why you were in there is because the people were there.
yes,
Yeah.
bro.
So everyone's doing it,
Definitely.
I'll do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and also in Malaysia, if there's no exam, no one's going to study.
Oh, true.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
true.
yeah, yeah.
What's the, how many, straight away say, hey, you should study this one. What's the breakdown for the exam and, what you call it, coursework?
Coursework.
Oh, in US
No, here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what
100%
people ask,
exam.
Because people are all
No,
about
but
the
some-
results. They
yeah,
don't, they
some-
don't really care about the
yeah,
learnings.
yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
There's no curiosity spark, you get what I mean? There's
Right,
no,
right.
it's not
Yeah.
like, there's another time when I was in UK and I was testing some equipment, and the guy on the weekends, I said, Malaysians why we work so hard is because we don't have a hobby that we take it very seriously.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's
You realize
true.
that?
Yeah. That's
This
true.
guy, right? He's I was testing a meter on the weekends. You know what he does? He gets those VW vans, and he
Like a
sets,
Volkswagen van?
yeah, you know the
Like a
Those
combi?
hipster ones in New Zealand.
is it called
The
the
one you
combi?
can live inside one.
Ah,
Those
yeah,
like,
yeah,
combi-
yeah.
Those like
Like a rectangle.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's a combi,
yes, yes.
Uh-huh.
He rejigs them for races.
Wow.
Oh, that's cool.
That's that cool, right?
That's cool.
right?
Oh, God.
And then here I'm reflecting my Saturday Sundays. One Utama.
Or maybe 163 Mong Kiara Canberra, man. Let's go.
Hey, when.
True,
That's true, that's
true.
true.
And it actually shapes your thinking.
Yeah.
Because so I mean, just to your point, I find it very.
I think sejarah here is a joke only lah. It's like you learn it so that you can joke with your friends later on.
It's true. I think it's a huge parcel of it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like until now, like you break a cup or something, you're like, ayo. It's just a cup, bro. Kapucha enemies me. Then you just laugh about it. Like.
Hey, fun fact for you guys, you know my SPM year, right? We had a question. It was, I think it's probably the most famous year for Sejarah, SPM. There was a question, what is the name of our national anthem?
No kidding.
Damn. Just in case you
Trick
forgot.
question, is it? Is it like...
That's what
People got
everyone
wrong.
thought.
Huh?
People actually got it wrong.
Of course,
Because they thought it's a trick question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even I would think it's a trick question.
Yeah, it's just like you trying to con me.
I sing it every day, bro.
Yeah.
You go and type 2011 SPM Sejarah, you look at the questions. Laugh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So laugh, bro. Hilarious. Okay. So now you guys explain a little bit about uni. Now, okay, you're back. Right, you're back. And now you have to find a job in Malaysia. By the way, why didn't you guys want to
Stay there.
stay back?
Yeah.
I know a lot of
Oh.
Malaysians have a dream to stay in like wherever they
Yeah.
study.
The American dream, man.
I think the short answer is I couldn't.
Oh,
I couldn't. Yeah.
they didn't want to renew your visa.
I was working at Jet,
Okay.
right? And it was hard enough getting a job there, right?
Yeah, man.
But I somehow got it. And then, so after you study in the US, you're given a 1-year license to work.
Okay.
It's called
Okay.
the OPT.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So after your 1 year and your OPT expires, you either get an H1B visa,
Okay. Which
Or-
is a professional visa, right?
yeah,
Yes.
or
Yeah.
you go home.
Ah.
Fairly simple. And the process to get an H1B is basically a lottery. Oh, so two prerequisites, right? One is you get employed. The employer applies for you. Second layer is the lottery.
Yeah.
Okay, so those 2 layers. So I got the first layer down, but the second layer just didn't work out.
Even the second layer has a lot of prerequisites. Like you need to be in specific fields, like
Industries.
the STEM majors and all that. Unless you're a specialist that is really required, they would prioritize hiring their own people. lah.
I see.
So it's very, very difficult. Same thing I went through the same thing. I think I sent out like 300 resumes, dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
300 resumes.
Hey, the job market in the US is a whole different beast, bro.
Here,
Yeah.
come here.
Here, I applied to 2, bound to get 1, bro.
But that's because of our degree.
Yeah, but
Serious.
over there, it's, oh my God, I think I interviewed for like probably also 300-400 companies.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wait, you actually interviewed?
No. I sent out
Send
resumes,
resumes
300.
lah.
I interviewed for
How many came back to
crazy-
you?
I want to say, I don't know, maybe out of all that you apply, maybe 10% will come back to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I got 60. I went
50%, not
I went
bad.
to 50, 60 interviews.
Wow.
Yeah, over the course of like half a year-ish. No, 1 year. 1 year. Because during studying also I went. I was like, oh, I want to get a job. I remember I interviewed with this lady. Her name is Rose Su. So if Rose ever watches this, thank you so much.
Yeah.
She was like, I want to hire you so much, but it's just that I cannot do it. I have to prioritize hiring local people. And it's very unfortunate. I interviewed at my favorite ad agency at the time also, Goodby Silverstein, and they were the ones who did so many good ads also lah. I mean, you can find it online, but that one also, the lady loved me, but then she's like, I cannot hire. I only can hire local people. I didn't know. You know? Because when I put like SNK, so Saujana, whatever, all the schools, they would think like, oh, maybe you're an American citizen who maybe lived a part of his life overseas. Right? And then you come back, you're still local. But no, they cannot give you at all.
Wow.
Yeah. Even actually, I can argue some of my engineering friends also, they only could do a year. Then after they're like, sorry, even your field also, we have to hire a local. Very, very few. I think a small handful. And those guys really them specialists, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Really? Yeah. Wow.
So I
very
think
challenging.
it's a good lesson that a lot of people hear if they are going to 20, 30 interviews and then complaining, man, they don't even know what's real
Dude, you know, until today, my Gmail still has job opportunities in San Francisco. Same, right? Yeah, my
Same.
interview, I got like, 2,000 inbox. I'm like, I'm not going to check that shit. It's
100%.
just all job
Yeah.
opportunities in SF.
I think it also gives you perspective about when you get an opportunity, you should really treasure it.
There lah. Here, I think, very different lah.
Okay.
Here, I think better QC, go Glassdoor a bit, ask some friends.
Make sure not so
Yeah,
China
yeah.
man.
That's right, 100%.
This one,
More choices, huh?
Malaysia, I think, is a very, very difficult place, especially when you've seen how people treat you overseas. Over here, I think they prioritize cost, low manpower. Cost is like must and output a lot. Must be like ratio of like 1:8 or something like that. It cannot be like
value for money.
They will whack cow you one. Yes. So I went for 5 interviews. All also offered me in Malaysia. All big agencies, Leo Burnett, Ogilvy, all this, right? I picked my favorite one and I go kena whack also. Whack and I work like what? For a whole month, 2 months until 3 a.m. Just work.
I remember like it was so intense that like people were like throwing Maggie cup.
Throw Maggie cup at me, slap me, that type of thing.
Wow.
Yeah, quite intense one. Then I remember, right, I came back because if you have parents in that 1950, 1960, they were born that era,
Yeah,
right?
boomers.
Yeah, I didn't want to say lah, but if you were born in that era, right, they will tell you suck it up lah,
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
right?
Toughen it up.
Yeah, you don't know what you're going through. This one, everybody, all that. Then I remember, right, I came back from my first job, right? I think it was like 3 months in. I just broke down, started crying,
Wow.
on the carpet,
Mm.
Like my front entrance is a small carpet. I start crying on that carpet, Then my dad was like, wait, you don't cry on top of the carpet, later the carpet wet. Then he moved me to the side. Then he's like, but actually, I think you should really quit your job if you really cannot take it. So if like a boomer can tell me that, right?
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, wow,
Mm.
she just got real. I resigned. At my 5th month, serve 1 month.
And it's very interesting that you brought up this perspective about long hours. In
Yeah,
a way.
but actually in office, you're just waiting. You're waiting for someone
That
to give you.
is true, man.
Yeah.
You actually, you just sit there.
Yeah.
Besides the emotional strain that you had, right? Did it also make you think about what was your worth?
I didn't really think about that. I just wanted to get out. I remember I used to drive at 3 a.m. in the morning back from office to go back to office at 7 a.m. because I want to avoid the jam. Then I used to see dividers. I'm like, I think I'm just going to drive into the divider lah. Just going to end this shit lah. I cannot take it. Every day I see the same divider. I'm like, I'm just going to. Then I don't do it. I'm a coward. Then I go to work. Then I just sleep in the car 7 to 9. Then wake up, go office.
Wow.
Repeat like that. I used to go to the same Shell station, buy bread, buy the Nescafe mocha, purple color, down, eat, then sleep in the car until 9, go to work, then come back 3 a.m.
Wow.
Just repeat until I like, wow, man. Yeah. Started smoking everything, all because of.
Yeah, because I
man.
there's a lot of people who get into audit firms, especially.
Oh,
Yeah,
Dude,
they had
my
it rough,
office
man.
was above EY. dude.
Wow, the whole office is a building of misery.
Yeah.
It's like lights on at 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
And
Go downstairs to a cigarette, then you see all EY people together, Ogilvy people, all. Yeah.
So bleak.
All
No,
repeat. The
You know
leaf
why I brought this up, John? Because I'm not from finance. He's not from accounting and finance. But then when we speak to people in investing groups or
Yeah.
communities, right, they're mainly accounting and finance. And then when you ask them, right, where you want to go? Big Four.
yeah.
me and MJ,
Same,
sometimes we just like,
Don't even know what you're saying.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You don't know the severity of those words.
Exactly.
The time that you trade off is not.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what was your experience then, Andrew? Like getting your first job in Malaysia? I remember you had this company,
Jetspree.
Jetspree,
right?
yeah.
It's not related to Jet.
No, it's
But
not.
funny.
Yeah, but funny. Yeah. I feel my career in Malaysia very, very fortunate. Totally unorthodox and very, very fortunate. So came back from the US. I applied to many, many different companies. Wanted to work in a startup.
Okay.
I interviewed in this company called Shopback. You probably have heard of it. I'm not sure.
No, I've not.
So Shopback is this like different platform that allows you to get points and cash back from shopping online.
Okay.
Anyway, interviewed there and Happy Fresh and a whole bunch of different places.
Okay.
And then because you get involved in the startup community and you interview, word spreads around. And then there was this ex-alumni from Fordham who was running
He
this
studied
startup.
in the same school.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. And then this guy's like, wow, who the hell studies in Fordham and
Okay.
who's in Malaysia.
Okay.
So he decided to interview me.
I see.
Yeah. And then I thought the idea was really cool. I still think it's a cool idea.
Not very practical, but cool.
Cool. Yeah. So I worked there and paid a fairly decent salary, like 5K, I think.
Wow.
At that time. Yeah. It's your first job in Malaysia. I felt it was a nice salary.
Okay.
Worked there for 2 years, and then left to Shopee, which is where I am today.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, Fordham is where Trump went, right?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
That is correct.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember.
But he was there only for 3 years, and then fourth year he went to UPenn.
oh,
Yeah.
final year in UPenn.
Yeah, for his CV to say that I graduated from UPenn and not Fordham.
Because he transferred the credits there, then to say that I graduated.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people in US do that.
Okay.
And I think UPenn's an Ivy.
Yeah.
Oh, no
Yeah,
wonder.
yeah, Penn. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not Penn State. The
Yeah.
very big distinction.
Yeah.
Kevin's
I
gonna
know.
be like,
Yeah.
Is it UPenn where this Jolo is from as well?
UPenn? I'm not sure.
Wharton.
Wharton.
Oh, Wharton.
Wharton.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Wharton. Yeah.
But I know they're close by, right? Are they close by? No.
They're all East Coast technically.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe about 3 hours drive.
Yeah.
But in US scale, that 3 hours is quite near, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So in terms of like now you've got a job, you got a good job and all that, you're in e-commerce booming industry, right? So what was managing money in like now? Now that you know more about a lot of things, right?
So actually, I think when I was working in Jetspree, so my first 2 years of working in Malaysia, I just let loose because I had money that I never had at a scale I never had.
USD.
I had the savings from the US.
Okay.
And then I was also making what I felt was a decent salary at the time.
Okay.
Right? A baller. Such thing as saving. Or save lah, okay, but whatever lah, right?
So you
There's
had
no-
that renaissance and then
200
you
ringgit
came
lah.
back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So whatever lah, right? Just ball lah. You
Right.
know, eat fancy food, let's go lah, right? Yeah. And I think I was talking with this group of friends. They are generally more well-to-do.
Okay.
It's
And-
Justin.
Yeah, exactly.
Justin.
And then he was telling me what I should be doing.
Mm.
So I was like, I acknowledge that I don't know much about things in general.
Okay.
So I should just, adopt principles that I think other people are doing right.
Okay.
Right? Don't have to necessarily learn it,
Yeah.
but if you can point in the right direction, just follow lah.
Okay. Okay.
So he got me into just investing in basic unit trust.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. And then once I did that and I understood what it meant, I read up about dollar cost averaging, the basics of investing. Right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, so this is money now.
Ah,
It's a huge paradigm shift.
okay.
Prior to that, it was just what I make, I spend less than 100%,
Okay.
save the difference.
Okay.
Hopefully that saving is enough for me to
Retire,
live and die.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a very vague image.
Okay.
Yeah. And then after I actually put money into investing, that's when things changed.
I see.
Because then you have quote unquote skin in the game and you actually take the effort to learn.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that was the turning point, I think.
So in a way, would you credit how many Justins were there in your life? In a
I
way?
actually think the podcast with you guys was a big factor too.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
This
Wow.
one, no lie, I'm
Okay,
not even
really,
sure
you're
about
not
this.
saying this to
man.
suck us up.
No,
right?
no, yeah.
Just
I'll
kidding.
suck you up later.
He got tell me also. He was like, dude, that's crazy, right? Why you
Yeah.
are so freaking stupid, day?
Correct. No, dude,
Okay.
you just have to acknowledge that you're stupid. That's all.
Okay.
It saves you a lot of time.
Yeah.
You don't have this denial phase, no ego and all that nonsense.
nothing.
Yeah.
Just let go.
Just admit you don't know,
Yeah.
and then you just
Yeah.
learn. That's
Yeah.
it.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So after the podcast with you guys, I was like, damn, stocks is a deep place,
Yeah.
bro.
But it helped because it was funny also.
True lah. Yeah.
It helped. It was because like you can talk to someone,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
can be on the same level as you. Can talk about like One Piece, Naruto, all that. That can say, hey, actually, but seriously though.
But you see,
Like the switch, right? It's like-
no,
But
but
seriously
that's key, because
Yes.
right, people in finance are not like that.
Yeah.
That's why it's
No, I like it the point that you're putting the finger because people in finance, they like to do finger wagging.
Oh, is it?
yeah.
Yes, I kid you not. High finance, to be precise.
So
Like at you or like
No, like,
upwards?
it's,
or-
it's like you how you describe your dad. Oh, you don't know anything.
Yeah, it's like
like
better kind
okay,
of-
okay.
Yeah.
That's
okay,
the thing about so yeah, I thought glad we could help you guys out in that area.
100%, bro.
It's hilarious. I
So
love that podcast.
we will talk about like investing and a few other things looking forward for you guys. But then I'm gonna go back to Jonathan, which
Yeah.
is so now you quit copywriting or advertising, right?
a bit more complicated. So at Ogilvy, I was doing client servicing. Right, I did it for 6 months, and actually it's weird because I feel that if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't have met anybody. I wouldn't have met you. Wouldn't have met John, Bradley, Jen.
Because you were filming your journey, right?
Okay, so if you trace back my YouTube channel, right, it goes all the way back to 2016 is when I just quit Ogilvy.
The first video I remember was when you were there was a truck and then there was like sand all over.
Oh, that was Malacca. Yeah, that was right after I quit.
That was the first.
That was the first. It was kind of like I just want to do a video lah, because I used to be so immersed in watching Casey Neistat.
Yeah.
Then I see how he shoots and everything. I'm like, I bet I could do that. I bet I could do that. And I at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. waiting for my boss to give me the report and all that, right? To file. No? I'm just watching it. I'm just like, oh my God, I should just do this. I should just record. I didn't have a camera. I didn't have anything, right? So I picked up my phone. It was an iPhone 5. I think it was the iPhone 5. Then I would record with it. Then I'll just stitch it together. I'm like, at least I have something. And it also stemmed from the frustration because I felt like no matter what you did in the corporate life, it would never manifest on. That is truly your own. So for example, if let's say I was doing servicing for Maxis and Johnny Walker, if I'm not mistaken. Every time you said that, oh, let's do this ad this way, somebody else would say, I think you should do it that way. Client will come say, do it this way. Designer says it should be, then in the end, it becomes something that's not really ultimately yours. So I thought like I wanted to do something that's 100% mine.
creatively also.
Yeah, so YouTube was an outlet for me, right? I just do. And it's weird how, right, I didn't even know about you, right? You would comment once in a while. Right? I don't know how you found my video, bro.
I'll go.
Actually, that's a very good. I also don't know how I found you.
I don't even know how Jen found my YouTube videos. If I didn't meet Jen, I wouldn't be together with her 5 years, live together with her, have 2 cats, a dog. You know, like the list goes on, right? I would have met Bradley, ultimate Buddha guy, right? Bradley is the one that introduced you to me.
Yeah.
And he was like, bro, you should check out this guy named MJ. He noticed there was Mokri Smarte on your ANA flight. I'm like, huh? So I checked, really Mukesh
Oh, I don't know if you know this.
He was there.
Yeah.
There was
wow.
one flight on ANA, and then I was like, it was right at the end. Right?
So he was filming the vlog lah.
Then I
Yeah.
said, Mukesh Mate, then then I just
Yeah, then he typed down. Then I was like, dude, let's meet up, way. Then I remember like after my vlogs, I was just like doing it for fun, right? No real money in it, right?
Yeah.
But it's weird how after I started doing that, I was doing copywriting simultaneously. So I used to use that copywriting skill to do script writing, right? Like short establishment, all this type of thing. Then people would come to me, hey, can you do a video for me? I'm like, dude, I record on my phone, dude. This is wild. It's like, just record your phone only lah. Then I'm like, I don't think this is legit, right? Because it's like the imposter syndrome kind of thing.
Yes,
That's right,
right.
Yes.
Then I was okay, I'll just do it for you lah. I'll charge you like 200 ringgit, 300, 500, whatever lah, the scale. Then after I got my first camera, my mom bought it for me. Then I was like, oh my God, I don't know how to use a camera. I had to Google how to record, how to transfer all this type of thing. Learn it slowly, and then we did the podcast. Then you do podcast, then meet you, then bro.
yeah. I
So
just
if I
remember the blue room and then that cafe you guys were at. The mad
Yeah.
audio, man.
I think a lot of people like focus on like perfection. They want to
Correct.
like reach that end goal real fast, but they don't realize, right? Like you gotta screw up, you gotta make mistakes, and you say it's so cliche, right? But you really just gotta start.
It's the
Like,
journey actually.
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, and perfection
Just
is,
gotta do
I always say this, perfection is the enemy of like completion.
Yeah.
Because you always strive for perfection, but you never do anything because of, what's that standard.
And I think also like there's always this debate, right, of quantity over quality, and
Yeah.
people always want quality. Quality is better, But what I've learned is that quantity produces quality.
Yeah, man. It's
You
practice.
don't do it, then how to?
It's practice.
It's
Yeah.
like Tiger Wood hitting a drive 500 meters away. For him to get that perfect drive, right, he would have hit 1,000, 100,000
You probably
shots.
missed, right, the first
Yeah,
time.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's funny because it's very disheartening when you see your view count so low.
Yeah.
So like when you see on YouTube, when you post something, it's like 20 views. You're like, how am I doing this?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's so weird, right? How in every part of my life doing this, right? I always go like, I think I'm gonna call it a day lah. I'm gonna stop doing YouTube, right? And when I wanted to stop, like really stop, Brad came,
Really? Wow.
yeah.
dude.
Bradley was
Messiah,
like, dude, don't stop, man.
Messiah.
Don't stop.
See the Messiah or the Buddha now? You see both?
Archangel Bradley, man.
This was, I think, 2017.
Yeah.
Right? No, sorry. 2016, I met Jen. Jen was the one that came.
Ah.
2017 is Brad. Then I was like, wow, I'm on a good roll. So I got a few like call-ups for restaurant reviews, all that, right? Then I think you came into my life 2019.
Last year, 20 August, I think.
2020,
July.
2019, something like that.
July,
And I was
August.
going to quit also.
Really?
Ah.
Yeah. And recently, like, I think it was just like last 2-3 weeks ago, I was talking to Jen. I was like, I think I should just stop doing vlogging lah. What's the point of all this? Then she was like, up to you lah. She's always like that lah, right?
Yeah.
Jen is always
Yeah,
passive one lah, right? Then there's this new guy. This guy is like, he's stuck in Malacca right now. And he was like, bro, just found your vlogs. I'm rewatching from 1. I'm like, bro, you got a long journey.
Wow.
I was watching everything, and then last night he sent, bro, in YouTube you write a timestamp.
Yeah.
Then I'm curious, man, like, why you going to put the timestamp? Like LOL. I click right, bro, send me back, man. I was like, wow. I remember I was working in this office. I remember my drawer that I pull out, all that.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Then I just like when I watched like 4-5 videos. That's why I'm late today, lah, because like I was watching the whole night.
Reminiscing.
Yeah, crazy, man.
Yeah.
But if I didn't do that, probably wouldn't have met you guys. Probably wouldn't learn about investment.
Yeah.
And because of you all, I bought my first few stocks also.
Nice.
I remember like 1 year in, so I still haven't buy, ma. Remember you buy already or not? I'm like, no, man, haven't yet lah. But in the end, I eventually did it. Then
Remember
then
the phone
crypto.
call he called you, and then he was like trying to transfer money.
yeah.
And then
yeah.
remember we were
Yeah, we were
filming
out
here,
there, we were out there.
and then in the end you had to pass the phone to me and say, okay, John, you go to this screen, click
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Because it was it a Maybank?
Yeah, it was a
Maybank.
Maybank
Yeah, well,
transfer.
I didn't use Maybank, so
Yeah, they said, hey John, you know how to? So you pass the phone to me and say, oh John, you click here.
The best one is Air Asia stock, because when I bought it, it was like really cheap, right? So I bought. I was like, okay, I bought my first stock. My friend checked. He was like, bro, how much you put? Well, I put in. I don't know how much I put in. I think I put in like 80 ringgit or something like that. Like very small amount. I think 400 ringgit. Yeah, some small amount.
Okay.
And I was like, wow, I really don't know anything. Man.
But you
Then he
should
guide
be
me.
up now, right?
Yeah, now it's up.
Asia is
Should be
like
up
one
now.
of the-
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
It's good.
Congrats, man.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Congrats.
Because of you guys.
Okay, I have to ask this because we know like Andrew is in Shopee, and then of course we'll talk about Fetch later on. But you work for your mom.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Here we
Key.
go lah.
I think that what you have to say is very relatable. And for those who are thinking of working with a family member,
Yeah.
I'm sure you've got a lot of things to tell them, right?
Yeah. But
We,
He needs to rewind.
I think
by the way, it's really like 1 hour plus in the podcast, so
Okay.
boomers won't watch.
Oh,
this
bro,
far,
true.
So it's okay.
So I
Just
can
let
go wild
loose.
already lah, right? I can let loose already. At this
And
point.
we don't. You realize we don't put timestamps
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
because we are so lazy.
I think you need. I was watching that podcast with what's that, Mr. Ng, the guy
Ng
with
Zuhan,
yeah.
Ng Zuhan.
Trade
And
view, trade view.
I only watched like the first 15 minutes, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But he was saying something about honesty. I feel that is my trait. I'm a person that's very upfront. If I don't know, I probably don't. Even I told you like how much AirAsia stock I bought, I also forgot. I don't even know the amount, right? But I'll be sure I don't remember, right? It was an insignificant amount. But I think honesty is my key trait. Honesty and perseverance. As you can see, I think it's like vlog 400 plus now. I don't know how I got this far.
Crazy. That's
true.
Right?
Yeah.
Perseverance and honesty is my two traits. I feel that I get into a lot of arguments with my mom and my uncle and my auntie because of these traits. However, they are also my strengths. So
Yeah.
they know that they can come to me for an honest opinion. And they know they can come to me when I need to like put in the hours. For sure. And they're like, John can handle one. Just trust him to do it. Then I'll be like, okay, I guess I'm not sleeping for another 3 days. That type of thing. But I will do it one. I will get it done.
Yeah.
So I think you need to know, if you're going to work with your family business, you got to know what your strengths are. And you better pray that your strengths tally with your parents or whoever you're working with. Because the amount of arguments I've gotten with my mom,
Lost count already.
dude, I'm so rude also because I reached that level of anger I never thought I could reach. Because it's like the things that she says sometimes, I'm like, my God, you really are a product of your time, you know? Like, I cannot even fathom, understand. I can't even vouch for you, lah. I don't even know how to lie through my teeth to a client for you.
So some context for those listening, you guys are in the events industry.
Yeah.
right? I remember one story that stuck with me was your discussion with your mom about QR codes. You want to share?
Yeah, bro. So in 2019, I used to say like, hey, if you look at how QR code adoption is in China, right? It's very easy. It's very straightforward.
Alright.
Why not we do a lot of like registration links via QR codes? They said, John, nobody got QR code. You have to download the QR code. I'm like, yeah, but it's so simple. It's like you just go to the microsite and can log in instead of sending people an EDM, make sure it doesn't go into junk, spam.
Yeah.
Right? Like just put it there. Don't want, argue. I said we should diversify the business, go into a bit of digital events. Because you're in a peak, you can go company trip 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
That goes to show that there is money coming in, and the money should be invested back into the company to diversify, teach the people a new skill.
Yeah.
Right.
Upskilling lah.
Yeah. Versus just doing events, which I think very good at already, right? She didn't want to listen. She's like, no, the events will forever be there. Funny enough, I remember I told her like, I don't know whether you all saw the TED Talk with Bill Gates, where he talks about a pandemic.
Yeah. I did.
Yeah, I actually watched it before the pandemic, and I was like, guys, I think you should really like consider just being like safe. You know, you don't know what's going to happen, ma.
Yeah.
Then they were like, no lah, no. I was at dinner lah. Yeah, this John crazy fella talk about this crazy stuff. It will never happen. Then really pandemic happened. Wow, that one downhill, quite difficult. But I think what I got out of it was crazy also, because you have to see people, you have to see them let people go.
Wow. Yes.
That's an experience.
You have to see them have the discussion and compare people's income, compare people's background, and then let go of people based on that. So for example, there was a guy, he inherited his dad's wealth because his dad passed away, right? And he's a junior only, but we have to let him go. Although he served the longest in MVP.
Understand.
Have to let him go because we're like, by right,
He can survive.
you can survive. So you have to make that decision. And because of that decision, the team's morale drops, because people are like, how can you let go a long-serving stuff like that?
And it's very subjective because it's not very clear.
Very difficult.
Yeah.
But I'm very glad, right? And I'm going to sound really like terrible, right? But I'm glad I did not have that responsibility during COVID to pay people's salary, to let go of people. I was just part of the discussion. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise.
Right.
But if you want to go into family business, I think you should be aware of all these things that are going to happen, because I think it's going to strain your relationship with your whoever family member you're going to work with. Right. In this case, I try not to spend so much time with my mom. Right.
You spend
And
so
my
much time
uncle
with
and my aunt.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Only because I know, right, too much would make it very difficult, not just for me, but for them and for the staff. Right. So I think you should understand that and you should know your strengths and see whether tally or not. Because sometimes like I think Andrew is really like analytical on that, but I think he'll be like, I think you're too straight up already.
Dude, will you ever consider working?
No.
Because he's considered his strengths.
Didn't even blink.
Yeah, no. The answer is no.
Unless they go.
Then maybe.
Yeah.
If I work with John, maybe.
Yeah.
Some brother combo lah.
Yes.
So,
Very
sorry, you get a question?
No, I just need a restroom. You need
Okay,
to
okay.
go
Okay,
Yeah. So, I have to ask, right? So, they were at a certain, like, to use the words peak, 2019, early 2020, pandemic hit. There's a humbling.
To say the least.
And,
Yes.
two questions, right? Like, how far away are they from the peak? And also,
How far away?
are they from their peak? I'm talking about recovery. Also, for context for those listening, the company's MEP, right?
Yeah.
So you
Meeting
guys got
exhibition
any-
planners.
Yeah, you guys got any events? You guys.
Thanks.
So-
you can come direct to me so I get
Yeah.
yeah.
So that, and do you see a change in attitude for the
Since
key management since all this?
I think in the first year, no. Very stubborn. Very stubborn. They wanted to just wait it out. You know? It'll come back end of the year. Then the humbling begins when you see your competitors get events that are digital. Then only you are you are a mover. Right? Then they're like, okay lah, I think I better figure out
something. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the difficult part was if you realize, right, if you do digital events, there are a lot of like back end stuff that you don't know, like green screen management.
Oh,
you
yeah.
need to do projection, you need to do rigging, lighting, right? Microphone work, wiring. As you know, lah, microphone also you can tell, right? You see, you wear headphones also. But I don't know what to say, thank God. Thank the Lord, whatever. Thank you. Right? That I learned about podcasting prior. Dude, so like my wiring knowledge, all that really came into like play, you know. I'm like, my God, like if I didn't know all this, so I know if the supplier is overcharging or whatever. In fact, he will be like, dude, you already got ATEM switcher, why you don't use? I'm like, because I don't want to help my family. Let them pay. You know, if they want to do it, because this is Yamcha session stuff. I don't want to like use it and then like
no, and it's once you do that, sometimes it be
blurs.
taken for granted.
yeah, bro,
Yeah,
the
that's right.
lines are
Yeah,
very blurred after
yeah,
that.
yeah,
So
that's right.
I didn't want to do any of that, right? So we went into virtual events. But the unfortunate thing is we didn't hire anyone that was experienced in it because nobody needed it prior to COVID, right? But then suddenly it's a commodity.
Yes.
Suddenly everybody needs a virtual event manager.
Yeah.
So a lot of the team had to learn themselves, go back end to Zoom or Microsoft Teams or whatever. Then learn. But even that I feel is not good enough because you don't really know how to take it further up.
Yeah.
To be a difference, right?
Yeah.
Because you're just going to be just like everybody else and the budget is going to be the same. Competitors are going to be charging the same amount. What gives you the edge?
Yeah. What's your USP?
There's nothing. So even until now, unfortunately, I feel it's too late. Because even the people who learned really couldn't take it. They're like, you know what, I'm just going to resign. Go back work for my family business also.
Because it's too like
I have to learn from my boss. I have to learn from my boss and my boss doesn't want to learn about it.
Oh, that's a very key
Ooh,
point.
I think we can relate to
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Oh, yeah. We definitely can relate to that.
It's very difficult because if you look at this, right, I'm objectively speaking, I'll tell you because I'm an honest fella, right?
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of all this because I can see that they are not taking the effort to teach. But they are taking a lot of effort to learn. But their salary is not 100%. So what's the incentive here? Why am I finding business for you?
There's a mismatch already.
Yes. You know? So it's when only doing this I feel like, wow, I can really see how hard shit can hit the fan lah. But at this point it's like really hitting like a aeroplane engine and then
Turbine spinning already.
it's quite bad. It's quite bad. So rehiring new people, juniors, then now it's up to me to teach them. And I also like am at a loss because it's actually a lot of manpower to do it. You know, as you can see,
It's
like,
events, I mean.
yeah. And not only that, I mean, if you look at this podcast itself, right, you realize, right, there are a lot of like layers to it. Audio.
Yeah,
visual.
that's why a lot of people think, oh, just turn on the mic. Oh my God, you know how much work
Yeah.
Gabriel, myself,
It's a
think,
lot. It's a lot.
right?
Logistics.
Even yesterday, Gabriel, how many hours we spent? Easily 3-4 hours, right? Just to buy the mics, just to get the cables.
I go to guys. I'm BJ. I had to go to Cheras. bro. I had to go to Cheras.
We had to go Cheras. So is it the same one? Is it like that?
IKEA one, the IKEA
Oh,
Cheras
IKEA
one.
Cheras. Okay.
My town there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know, man. I know. So a lot of people don't know this, ma. So when they see like, I mean, if you want to go back to Yamcha Sessions episode 1, then you can see how bad it is if you don't turn on camera. lah.
Hey, John, remember the time when my first podcast and you were going under the table and you were wiring the USB and then let's make sure the hub works. Pray that the hub works. You know that kind of thing.
Yeah, and then we had to stop the camera.
Yeah.
Then re-on the camera.
Yeah.
Because the batteries
30
were-
minutes, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of things people don't see, right?
Yeah.
So in events, people think you just shoot the guy in front of a green screen, man. Oh, bro, why not you go and try? You see, a lot of people don't want to learn.
Yeah.
So when you don't learn, they just assume, and then when they assume, then people have to compete, and when they compete, then people drop price.
Then they realize how low their value is, unfortunately.
yeah.
So I want to talk a little bit more now on Fetch, right? Because that's something you're working with. I know, I mean, from a podcast, Shopee is there's a love-hate relationship. With Shopee, to say the least.
definitely.
So okay, maybe before Fetch, like how has it been? Like what for those who don't know, I believe Shopee, like okay, so I have a friend who's I think also at Shopee. He also graduated from the US. He joined as a junior.
Okay.
And by year 2, he said he was managing 30 to 40 people already. It's like, wow, it's crazy,
Wow.
right?
Okay.
So things are going crazy in Shopee. So without putting your job at threat, how has it been, you know?
Honestly, I'll be damn honest about working in Shopee.
Yeah.
I have been working there for about 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Started off first year in launching Shopee Pay, and then second year now launching Shopee Food, or having already launched Shopee Food.
Mm-mm.
I think to cite your friend's experience, very, very relatable. There's just a lot of new businesses being formed within Shopee, or new categories being formed. A lot of just stuff you don't know, or you can think about it conceptually before you launch, but when it actually launches, you don't really know what's going to happen, and so you end up with people like your friend who manages 30 people, presumably outsourced or maybe insourced, whatever, lah, right? I think the culture at Shopee is a problem. Average churn rate is like a year at most.
Okay.
A good number of people I've worked with don't want to pass probation.
Wow.
Wow. So it's
Which is a
6
statement.
months or 3 months?
3 months.
3 months.
Oh, 3 months.
Yeah.
That's
Damn,
crazy,
that's
man.
quite
That's a
short.
statement, you know.
Wow.
I've never worked in a company where people don't want to pass probation.
But this is an MNC thing, bro. This is a
I
lot.
have not
necessarily,
I have
I
not
think.
seen like this probation part. I've seen people stay for a year and then leave. That's fairly common, especially
That
these
one's
days.
very common.
Yeah.
But
But the probation part is, I think it's new to me at the very least.
I see.
Yeah.
And why is that? Is it because of bad culture, bad structure of management, or is it just long hours? Or
I think it's because of how aggressive the culture is for
I
growth.
see.
For
I
growth.
see.
So it's warranted. I see where you're coming from. Right? That's part and parcel of why we're so successful today.
Yeah.
But
At the
comes
price of something else?
comes at a cost. Lah.
Yeah. At the price of something else.
hopefully it's all the mental health webinars, then people become more woke.
I've joined one that's absolutely useless.
It's rubbish.
Bro, look, I mean, you all know the Sylvia Chan issue,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
She's a mental health advocate, so that's all you need to know.
That's all
You
it
saw,
is.
did you see my Insta story where I was up at like 2 a.m. and then I was planning for the mental health advocacy?
I saw.
event?
It was ironic.
Yeah. A lot of people all
Oh, yeah,
laugh
yeah,
at that shit.
I remember.
And they were like, wow, John, you really taking one for the team. I'm like,
That's-
funny thing was my client was awake at 3 a.m. also. I messaged her. I was like, hey, Suchi, how are this one? She's like, oh, just confirm me lah. I'm like, okay lah, guess it's, I call it a night. She's like, for you lah. I'm like,
Oh, damn, backhanded.
mental health.
Aggro.
Yeah. But she's really good. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
good terms with her. But she's just funny that way.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
So, but okay, so like if you're so intense about like Shopee, already, right? I mean, Shopee is an intense place, right? How do you even find the time to like start a business?
Oh yeah.
I think that is, I don't have an answer. I struggle. I'm doing a terrible job if you feel me.
Yesterday we were supposed to be on a podcast, on a different podcast called Yuzu Media. And then Andrew forgot, you double book.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, because my calendar is just messed up.
But it's like that, it's life.
I try to be as structured as I can, but mistakes happen. So
Yeah.
I work, especially because I work from home,
Okay.
things are more flexible.
Oh,
So
true,
what
true,
I do
true.
today is I work at the Fetch office. We have an office as well for Fetch.
I see.
So I work there. And then right after working hours, whenever that is, 7, 8 p.m., then I continue working on Fetch with my partners.
I see.
So that's typically the process, right?
Okay.
And then we also do, so for context, Fetch is like this platform that delivers pet supplies within the Klang Valley. And we're a subscription-based platform.
Okay.
This is not a plug, this requires context. Okay, so
Okay.
But you can plug. if you
It can
want.
be a plug.
So
Why not?
So
Why not
because it's a subscription-based platform, effectively, if you want SKU A
Uh-huh.
delivered to you every month, and that effectively just means you don't have to worry about getting dog food anymore, right?
Yeah.
So because of that, we get to predict our schedules.
Mm.
And we get to predict when or how much
Can
stock,
arrange
how much
for
stock to take in,
Mm.
when you want to deliver. So
Yeah.
things are very, very systematic that way.
Great.
So because of the business model, we only deliver every Saturday. And that's effectively my system, right?
I see.
So I work on Shopee 9 to 6. And then 6 to whatever, I work on fetch. And then Saturdays I do
6-ish.
delivery.
6-ish.
Yeah.
Except for Wednesdays.
Big caveat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So
So I because we started this business full time as well. Like I really want to get to know the experience of someone starting their own thing as well.
Yeah.
Which is like first of all, why fetch, right? Like why do you
Sure.
try to get into what you're doing, and then after that, like how has it been like working with several partners, and then I assume they have their own day jobs as well.
yes, they do.
right?
They do.
And
All three of us do.
so there's always going to be a balance of
Who does what and
Who does
how-
what and
hours.
allocation. So maybe start with the why fetch.
I actually like helping small businesses grow. That's my reason for fetch, okay?
Mm-mm.
It doesn't necessarily have to be in the pet space,
Okay.
to be honest, but I like helping small businesses. So Fetch only works with small homemade vendors who manufacture their own pet food.
Oh,
Yeah, so we only work with those.
okay.
I would love to help more small businesses grow in different verticals, and I hope for Fetch to be a subscription platform for more than just pet supplies eventually, for household goods, for I don't know, just about anything that's you need on a recurring basis. So that's my why, right? I think on a more of a how basis, yes, I work with 2 other partners. All 3 of us have day jobs. Structure is a problem. Who does what? Can we do it on time? Right? Everything's very easy to plan now. Okay, we do this by this day.
Ideation is fun.
Yeah, it's very easy to do. Actually executing it
It's a
within
whole
timeline
ballgame. Yeah.
and within basically zero budget is very, very challenging. And we suck at that, to be honest. Could do a lot of improvement.
What do you mean by zero budget? You mean there was no investment beforehand? Or-
The 3 of us put in our own money.
okay.
Yeah, and it's okay. There's a small budget,
Okay.
but it's all of our own money, and it doesn't amount to much, lah. It's enough to keep the cash flow rolling. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
As a working capital, in a way
Correct,
lah.
correct. And the good thing is our business is there's very, very low capital required. Expenses are very low, so cash flow is generally positive. And yeah, it's a sustainable business. Just a question of growing it, lah. Which I think startup culture these days, right, is very like, I gotta grow now.
Yeah.
I gotta grow like, last week, bro.
Yeah.
Right?
Correct.
Right? And I gotta go fast. I
Yeah.
need VC money, right? I need
Yeah.
scale. It's
Yeah.
about scale, it's about synergy.
Yeah.
Right? All that nonsense.
Synergy, my goodness.
Right? It's all those buzzwords.
Agile,
Right? Yeah, agile, right?
Oh man.
Yeah,
You
I
brought-
operate on a 2-week sprint, bro. It's
Yeah.
sprint, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But really, right, to me, life is a marathon, lah, bro.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm in it. This business is not a really money making one. To be honest
Yeah.
with you, you're helping small businesses.
Yeah,
of
right.
course.
And it's a very niche market.
Yeah.
So it's okay for it to be a marathon, and I'll take my time with it. It's okay.
Are you enjoying?
Yeah, dude. It's really, really fun. It's a very stark contrast, right? Because
Yeah.
on the weekdays I work on Shopee so much,
Yeah.
and work is tough.
Mm.
Okay, it's tough when you deal with bosses, right? Planning, all of that,
Yeah.
and then you feel dread.
Yeah.
But then when I work on Fetch,
Yeah.
there is the ember.
Wow.
Wow, Rengoku. Eh.
Yeah, it's like that fire that you forget,
Yeah, man.
right? And for most people, they feel it after they quit their job that they
Yes,
hate,
yes.
right? And then they're like, oh my god, now I'm liberated.
Yeah.
But for me, it's on a weekly cadence
Not bad, man.
or a daily cadence, right? My daytime, I'm like, oh my god, my life sucks,
Yeah.
right? And then after 6 p.m., I'm like, okay, work on Fetch. I'm like, this is great.
Yeah.
Before you know it, it's like 12 a.m. and then you're like, okay, time to go home.
Yeah. Actually, that's very interesting, because most people we meet, they get into business to get out of an employee life.
Yeah, correct.
And it's like, but at the same time, they don't enjoy so much the business. It's just, this business can make money. So I'm going to hit my first pot.
Yeah.
And what advice would you be giving to these people actually?
I feel if you want to start a business to make money, that's fine. If money is your motivation, that's fine. But if you take a step back and you look at the bigger picture, right? Once you have money, then what? Because money is a means to an end, right? You don't really care about the 10 mil you want in your bank account. You want the lifestyle that comes with it.
Correct.
Right? It's something else after
Correct.
that. So you need to identify what that is, right? So I think for most people who want to start a business and make money, that's okay. But you should question what the purpose of the money is, right? If it's to help the poor, and if that's really your honest answer, I'm not judging that, right?
Okay,
then you might as well help now, bro.
Yeah.
Right?
Just straight go soup kitchen. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. But then, of course, there's a question of how many poor people can I help? It's a
Yes,
scale issue,
yes,
right?
yes,
Right.
yes.
But there must be a bet. I feel people who start businesses to make money as a means to something else, most of them don't know what the end is.
Yeah.
Because people just want money, man.
Yeah. So it's short-sighted in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this segues into two questions that I have. One is you mentioned, money is a means to an end and all that. So do you all have a number in mind, right? I asked Bradley the same question.
Yeah.
Right? Do you have a number in mind where it's enough, right? Because I'll tell the story again. I'm always inspired by this
Thanks.
this conversation, right? This guy who's pretty wealthy, he brought someone who is like kind of starting up, and then it's in this room full of wealthy people, and they're all like talking about their network, how much they have, how much money making, all that. And then this guy who's starting off asks this other guy like, "Hey, how much? Like, what's your net worth?" And then the guy respond like, "Enough."
Whoosh.
Oh, damn.
That's big. This BDE, bro.
Yeah, BDE, man. That is very BDE.
Maximum
That's
BDE.
right. So, what is enough for you guys? You do you have a number in mind? Or it doesn't have to be a number. It can be X amount a month. It can be something.
I actually thought about this after you asked Bradley that question.
Yeah.
Put a lot of thought into it. And actually, I think, and it's also funny, right? Because yesterday I went for banana leaf rice.
Uh-huh.
Then we drove by Perodua, SS2. We have Achar. Okay. Then we saw Perodua, And I have this discussion with Jen a lot because I intend to propose, have kids, everything, right? Then I was like, hey, how to have kids, send them overseas. Because Jen always wants to send the kids overseas.
Oh.
Yeah, because both of you went
expensive
overseas
goal,
as well, right?
It's a very expensive goal, right? And I remember when I had the conversation, I'm like, Yang, let's just be honest lah. Why not we just use that money, just go Japan every season, That's great, You don't need to have kids. You don't have that responsibility, ma. Then yesterday it just went like, it clicked for me, We were driving by Perodua. 5 years ago when I started dating Jen, right? She got her first car. It was a Perodua Visa. And she was like, oh, I got a Perodua Visa, you know how or not? Because I was having a pork mee with my dad. Then so happened we were talking about cars. The next table to us was the Perodua salesman.
Oh my God. Wow.
Then the guy was like, actually, you should get Visa. It's quite good. Then she was like, oh, is it? How much down payment? 5K. Then I was like, huh? Visa 5K only? She's like, yeah, man, Visa 5K. Then she like, stop, 5K only. Then I look at her, she looked at me in the car, Then I was like, seems like so little like that 5K. Compared to last time when we thought 5K was so much.
Yeah.
Then we're like, maybe we're actually ready. Then I like, holy shit, perspective. Right? When you're because it was like 5-6 years ago, and you're thinking like, wow, buy car, a lot of money. Right? Do I need to buy a car, right? Then 5 years later, I'm like, 5K only, ma.
Yeah.
Right? Then I'm like, maybe in another 5 years, I'll be a good dad. I can actually send my kids
Yes.
to a decent school.
Yeah.
Not a great school, not gardens or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But like I can send them to a decent school. Maybe I can provide enough. That's when it clicked to me. So to answer your question, how much is enough, right? I think it's enough if I can send my kids overseas.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. I can't buy them a house lah. That one,
No,
too
it
much.
it can be Singapore.
Can be Singapore. No.
Overseas,
Wait.
man.
Okay.
Just kidding.
So technically, right? If there's a university that opens in OUG, right?
Are you
OUG
serious?
is overseas uni.
Perspective.
No lah, but in all seriousness, I want to send them abroad.
Yeah.
So if I can send them to Australia, UK, US, or wherever they choose to go, even if it's Japan, Korea, Taiwan,
Yeah.
and if they truly believe, because that's what my dad gave me, I feel like that's all I can give. So if I can earn enough to send my kids overseas, I'm a happy man.
Right.
Can seppuku and shit. I'm joking. If I can send them overseas to a school that they want to go to, and my dad gave me the option because when I asked my dad, what's the budget if you want to send me overseas, he's like, just pick a school.
Wow. Just like the New Zealand, right?
Yeah, bro.
Just pick a school. And I'm like, you don't give me this lah. You go and talk all this big talk. Then after it say so expensive. Because he's like that one. He's like, wow, so expensive. So you don't do this to me, Then I really pick lah. Because I applied to 5 schools. I think 2 rejected me because Syracuse and BU, Boston University, was aiming too high lah. With my
Syracuse,
GPA.
Be tough, bro.
Yeah, I was like 2.85 CGPA. Wow, aim for Syracuse. Mad fella.
Hey, shoot your shot, man.
Yeah, but actually they considered.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they considered and they were like, if you could submit your TOEFL, which is the English score, again, then you can get in. I'm like, but too late already because I accepted San Francisco already. So I got accepted into Colorado, SF and Chicago. Yeah. Then like big SF lah. Because close to home, got auntie, uncle there.
And Chicago is cold AF. Chicago
Yeah,
is cold.
Chicago go AF. Colorado nothing to do, just get high only.
Go mountains.
Can buy the mountain, bro.
Can buy mountain.
mountain.
Yeah. So I think if you can send my kids overseas to wherever school they choose to do, I think I'll be very happy with my life.
Andrew?
I don't know the answer, I'll be honest with you.
You want kids? You're the one telling me to have kids all
Yeah.
the time. You're like, I'll be a good uncle.
Yeah, bro. I want you to have kids so I don't have to.
but so you can be the godfather.
Yeah, bro. I'll be the cool single uncle or whatever.
By the way, I don't know you guys know. You know, everyone likes to say like, oh, kids are financial burden or that, right? I don't know you guys know. Married people earn way more than single people.
Ah.
Interesting.
Because of the kids. So it's a chicken and egg, right?
Yes.
So people always say, I don't have enough how to get kids. But the minute you get the kids, then you're like, I have to find a way. Then they become richer.
Interesting.
I can attest to that.
Yeah.
Is it?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Seriously, I
So
can
like,
attest to that.
so like for example, I'm not saying this is your dad, but I know people who are dads who would say like, you pick any university you want. The minute you say, and especially we can say early, and the dad will find a way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because it's this.
Because you see, the thing is, very few people, and this is a realization for me in the finance space, because people like me and you know Gabe and all that, right? For us, right, we make more money because like we just like to see the number go up. You know, that's it.
Yeah.
What I realized, actually, that sort of almost sadistic obsession with that, right? Actually, is damn rare. Most people beyond like 100K or 200K, right? They don't see any more motivation.
Yeah.
Unless there's something like a kid.
Yeah.
They're like, I have to be a millionaire. You want to be a millionaire, you can have a kid. But no one tells you, right? Like they'll say that if you get a kid, then your dream of being a billionaire is gone.
Yeah.
Right.
Not true.
Wow. Perspective, man.
Interesting.
So you're gonna have kids now, lah?
Actually, for me, right, my goals, my financial goals are a little bit more short term. I don't know about life goals. I think life is too
Sometimes it's
complicated,
hard
bro.
to plan so far.
I set myself goals like how much my salary has to be by a certain age. Yeah. So that to me is like short term. At least I can see it and I can actively work towards it.
Okay.
So the current goal is 20K a month by 30.
So it doesn't necessarily need to be
By
salary.
30,
right?
Yeah.
Baller.
Yeah,
The
it
math.
doesn't necessarily need to be salary. It could be in a way cash flow as well, right? I mean,
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
If Fetch gives you 20 a month, then probably good reason for
Correct. Exactly.
okay.
Yeah. Could be. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like with these short term goals in mind, at least like when I hit that goal at 30, then I recalibrate for 35 lah. Then 35 you recalibrate for 40 lah.
And it's good because in a way these are goals that are more realistic, more
Yeah,
achievable,
spot on.
rather than trying to think like, wow,
Yeah.
we're gonna try to hit that
Correct.
1 million, right? And it just turns you off in a way.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
think prior to this, I think maybe like last year or 2 years ago, I wanted whatever this means lah, right?
Yeah.
Financial independence by 40.
Mm.
But then when I try to calculate the number, right? I'm a big spreadsheets guy, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Try to calculate, right? I cannot. There's too many assumptions, too many variables,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And things I don't know,
Yes.
right? What
Yes.
if
Health.
cancer, right?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
if my kid has autism? I don't know, right?
Yeah,
Wood lah.
touch wood. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
A lot of things, too many assumptions.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, you might scrap this lofty idea.
Yeah.
Let me just look at 5 year intervals.
Yes. And that's a good way because too many people procrastinate because of
Yes.
thinking too far.
Yeah.
It'd be like Malaysia lah, you know, the 12 Malaysia plan.
Aiyo.
The 17th Andrew plan. Right. So
Yeah.
now I ask something a little bit more personal, which is okay, still finance related. It's
Yeah.
like what would you say is your best and worst financial decisions?
Yeah, good
Why you made them? Walk me through.
God.
Best and worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finding a girlfriend?
Hey, girlfriend's expensive,
Yeah, exactly. No,
I can still remember my worst one. It's a Green Lantern ring
how much did it cost?
at what's that? Borders. I still remember. It's like a 30 ringgit. I was like Form 3 or some shit. Then I watched a Ryan Reynolds movie. I was like, wow, buy a Green Lantern ring. And Andrew was like, John, no. Then I go and buy.
You were inspired by the Ryan Reynolds screen.
Yeah, I was like, wow, I should buy a Green Lantern ring. I still remember that's the worst decision ever. I don't even know where that ring is. It's like 30 ringgit. I still think about it. I'm like, stupid fella, you know. You gotta buy booster pack. Maybe you get a Charizard and resell.
Yeah.
You gotta buy food, nutrition. I don't know. So I still think about that stupid purchase.
Okay.
wow.
Ridiculous purchase. I don't even know why. I go back and slap the fella.
What's the best though?
What's the best one?
Ah.
I think my first Japan trip with Jen.
Oh,
with, to Japan. Yeah, that was like the best one. I went at the correct time. Then Sakura then I feel like, I'm like, wow, I can actually make a trip, I pay for a trip for myself. Then I realized like, because of that trip, I can actually save a lot more money. I can work towards a goal.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, so that trip was actually kind of like a big thing for me. Yeah.
I think worse for me, mathematically speaking, is buying the apartment.
That you
The Miller's one.
Yeah, not necessarily Millers specifically. I'm not shitting on Millers.
Okay.
I think buying an apartment, financially speaking, given the apartment is like 10 minutes from my parents' house,
Okay.
it mathematically doesn't add up lah.
Okay.
Right? You should have just not bought it, stay with your parents, and then you
This is
save
exactly what I told mom.
you save that much money.
It's exactly
Right?
what I told mom.
That's in PJ? Is this still in PJ?
No, it's on Oakland Road.
From PJ.
Yeah.
It's next
Almost.
to- Stop it. You forever try to pull people to BJ. It's just before Scott Garden, the bridge one.
That one. I nearly bought Scott's Garden, by the way.
Oh, is it?
Oh,
Thank God you
Yeah.
didn't.
No, because when I first moved to KL 2012,
I see.
That time it was
yeah,
seen as quite premium.
all the way from Ampang, what do you call it? Taman Desa.
Taman Desa is good though.
Yeah, I viewed Scott's. I also viewed this OBD Garden Tower.
Oh, I don't know.
Don't know that one.
Yeah, but in the end I bought Mount Kera lah. So
Wise
Yeah.
choice.
Respect.
no, it was
family.
cheaper.
Is it?
It was cheaper than Taman Desa and Scott's Garden.
Taman Desa is expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taman Desa's got a
Old-
good
old money
Japanese
place.
community too.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's why.
So it's quite safe.
Yeah.
So why, I mean, you say mathematically, like why is that the case? And also, of course, now in retrospect, why do you think you made the mistake?
Yeah.
I think I wouldn't call it a mistake. It was just mathematically the worst financial decision to make.
And you're still paying for it, right? Every month.
I will be paying for it soon.
Oh.
But even though it is a mistake, I honestly, genuinely do not regret any of it
Okay.
because life is more than just finances.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Correct.
You have like emotional well-being to take
course.
care of, right? You have
100%.
self-development to consider, right? Generally, you only live up to a certain age. You only live up
Don't
to
even
a
know.
certain age.
Yeah.
You might as well have a good life in that time of your life,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yes.
that's
So
true.
even though it mathematically doesn't add up, I stand by that decision.
Sure.
Right.
And I think I was the one who convinced John to move out also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember where we had that conversation. It was in New Zealand.
100%.
Yeah, we were looking at the lake. We were having a cigarette. Then he was like, John, I think you should just move out.
He had to move out. He was like mentally tortured.
Because
Yeah.
Too much space.
work with the mom, and then the amount of hours, right? You need a solace. lah.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was in that year, I traveled with my mom to I think like 4 or 5 different countries.
For work.
Yeah, for work and for holiday also. Then every trip, argue one. Because on the plane, it's like how many hours? Argue on the plane. At the Airbnb or hotel, argue in the place. Then visit client, all that also. We'll argue in front of client about this also. They'll say, you see, my son's so ungrateful.
Really?
Wow,
Then,
nice.
then my client is
Sucker
like, let's hear it from John's point of view.
Oh.
Yeah, then I'll say like, wow, she upset, walk away, that thing. Doesn't look good also, right?
Wow. So you should actually do it in front of the
Yeah.
wow.
Family, everything,
Right.
non-stop for like a year, a good year. A good year. That's why I feel like, really? Mom and dad argue? I feel like they were arguing with me the whole time.
It's like they're just perpetually arguing. I'm not sure.
Dude, it was so bad, man, the whole year. Yeah.
But it's good. It's good. I mean, like what Andrew said, just to echo, money is not everything.
Yeah,
Sometimes the mental well-being is well worth.
Yeah, man. True,
Yeah.
man.
I think a big perk, and this is coming. So I like to talk to people who are older than myself. They generally have lived life, made mistakes. They can teach me a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
And again, I admit I'm completely a dumbass. I just learn from you guys, right?
Okay.
So a lot of my peers who are older than me say that if you're having a bad relationship with your parents, you need space.
Yes.
And then once you do meet up,
Mm-hmm.
you present yourself as the best, as
Version.
your best version of yourself.
Correct.
Dude, dad is so nice to me now.
Exactly.
That's
Even
so
I
nice.
see it. Even I see it. Exactly.
That's like, what you
Yeah.
want to have for dinner? I'm like, you care, man? I straight away asked him,
It's a
you really
huge
care?
difference.
or not?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your relationship with your parents, right? If you treasure it, if you truly treasure it, have space.
This is even more true when you have kids.
Oh.
Trust me.
Wait, so you should kick your kids out or what?
Because
No,
now,
no,
now you have all the cards.
Yeah.
Now you have the kid for them to, because you tell me I'm wrong, right?
Yeah.
But
you have
people-
grandchildren. They have grandchildren.
grandchildren is a second chance for your parents to right their wrongs.
Correct.
Oh.
So now,
So they can go to heaven after that,
Now
lah.
you as the son, you have the kids. Oh,
Yes.
So you see the kids.
Yeah, but then your relationship with your parents will change also. You know why? Because then when you raise your kids, you kind of got a chip on your shoulder already for good thing. Because you've realized the sacrifice, you feel the sacrifice that they made for you. They also will give you the respect. You know how to bring up a kid. It's not told. It's not told.
Yeah.
But it's
But
felt.
It's felt one. It's felt that, okay, my son's an adult or my daughter's an adult now because he can bring out a kid. He knows the responsibility and all that kind of thing.
Right.
And also the other thing is you may feel relegated.
As in like priority?
Yeah,
Like,
because you
they
know why?
prefer the
The
grandchild.
love goes to the grandchild.
Yeah, correct.
Especially as a guy, lah.
yeah.
Especially as
Yeah.
the guy.
Actually, I don't need the love, bro. Just,
Oh, I don't need it so. I don't need it so. Yeah.
just take it. Take the
I'm
tension
completely
away.
happy
No,
without it.
for the
Jesus.
guys, yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus, just get. Oh my god.
And
Just take a
don't forget the other component of a wife also, lah.
Yeah.
Meaning?
I mean, it just adds to the
In-laws.
whole complexity.
Yes.
Yeah, that is complex.
One more
That's true.
thing, and it's not financial. Okay, so it's kind of linked, at financial and emotional wise. Is because your spending habits, your wife's spending habits, and how you treat your children may not be aligned to how your parents think of how you should spend.
That's why they are the ones that are going to fund. And they're like, oh, you're not happy, is it? I buy this brand. Then
Yeah.
you buy the better. You love the grandchildren so much,
Yeah.
right?
Mom and dad are still probably going to be richer than us anyway.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I give up hope. Yeah. I mean, can kind of like wriggle my way lah. Because right, they always want to. Sometimes I feel right, they just want to say for the sake of saying. They just want to say
Yeah,
it.
of course lah.
Right.
It's just
Yeah.
mechanical for them.
But then when you say it, right, and you challenge them, wow, cannot really. They're like,
Yeah.
wow, I think you're damn big. Talk back to me.
But when you get to that age, right, somehow or rather you would want to have some sort of that kind of respect or something.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just human nature.
Yeah.
But it's so tough, you know, John, because I work with my mom, you know.
I know.
Dude, you know, I see
Dude,
every day,
Dude,
you know.
I tell you, right? Every time I go back to my to my place, and even I don't work with my mom, I get into a lot. Even my daughter will put me away.
Oh, is it?
Wow. Hey, that's cute.
Yeah,
That's cute.
Because
Yeah.
it's just she knows my nature. She knows my mom's nature, and money is very very little talked about at home.
I see.
It's very sensitive. But usually we don't argue about money. We argue about a lot of other things, right?
Sure.
But it's like having the kid, you kind of like you will see the contrast in like my parents, right? For the kids, baller.
Yeah.
Baller.
Kobe
Bryant,
Yeah, baller.
Confirm one.
Right.
Yeah.
And even I have this conversation with my other friends, right? There was one funny one. The kid, 5-year-old, right? Ice cream for breakfast.
Nice.
And
It
then
sounds like something that would do for my kids. I swear to God.
yeah,
100%,
yeah. And
100%,
then he looked at her dad. I never had ice cream for breakfast. You know
Yeah.
what kind of rule they have?
Yeah. Probably. I can see
Yeah.
mom and dad being like that.
Oh,
lah.
100%, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And ironically, financially, sometimes it spoils the grandkids. Because you know what they do? Different rules, mah.
Yeah, lor.
True.
You see, it's like
They
daddy
start to
tell
hate
me
you
to
also. They start to hate you.
They hate you. They said, oh, why is daddy and mommy so strict about money, about me
Yeah.
spending, controlling.
Yeah.
But then I'll get my Audi A4 from grandpa. You know, that kind of thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Guarantee mom and dad will probably give that ang pao like mad and then make us look like we're poor also.
Yeah.
Just a
Ang pao,
flex.
never mind lah. You just don't surprise my kid with the Audi A4 lah.
But and I can
Bloody
only
hell.
imagine, right?
Yeah.
Even if you could control your side of your grandparents, then the other side.
Correct.
Yeah,
correct.
true,
correct.
true,
Yes.
true.
A lot
So
of
that's why
stakeholders,
coming back to, you see, that space is important.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that,
Yeah. Oh, you haven't told your best.
Yeah, your
financial-
best.
Best easy. Mathematically, buying C limited stock.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
When you bought it when you first joined.
I wish I bought it when I first joined. I think 6 months in, maybe
That's good.
3 or 6 months in. Yeah.
You saw that everyone was working like mad. The company is expanding like mad.
Yeah. I think I'm not sure if I heard this from you guys, but it's that Nestle story.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
People
Yeah,
who are Nestle
that's-
don't buy Nestle.
See, I said you guys are one of my Justins. I promise you. Yeah, for real. Then I was like, I can't be that Nestle wanker, bro.
Yeah.
Right? I got to do something.
Yeah.
And
I
I
told
was
you
like,
that.
Yeah. I was like, it made. I feel this makes sense.
Yes.
And then you also hear like rumors about people like they want to launch, or they already have at this point launched Shopee in Poland,
Oh, yes,
Spain,
yes.
France.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
They're
And
getting
so-
bigger and bigger in Latin
Yeah.
America too.
So when you know this is not just a Southeast Asian regional thing.
Yeah.
It's a global thing, and
Yeah.
they're serious about it.
Yeah.
And the cash flow makes sense. The business makes sense as a parent company.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, let's do it lah.
And they're huge in like LATAM right now. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brazil specifically.
Correct. And things have picked up super quickly, dude.
Do you get like ESOS for your company? Like you can buy it. At
Hopefully,
a
when I get promoted end of this year, only above a certain rank do you get ESOS.
I see.
Okay.
I see.
All the best.
He's been pushing me to do it so many times.
It's still cheap.
Yeah.
It's still cheap.
It's still cheap today.
He's always telling me,
Yeah.
John,
Yeah.
you go buy SC stock. That's the first thing. Yeah. It's not even like.
Because it's. Dude, I want you to succeed, bro.
Yeah, the momentum is great.
Yeah.
And you have insider
Yeah.
information.
True.
Inside that.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
But you won't get it because he will tell you certain things. You see his pain, He's suffering.
see,
the more he suffers, the more the stuff.
correct,
Right.
correct.
The more I complain, right, the more inspired you should be.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
Nice,
Yes.
nice.
Because
That's
like we have this running joke for Asia. As an investor, you buy Asia.
Uh-huh.
But if you work for Malaysia Airlines.
Yeah.
You get a hit.
You work for Malaysia Airlines.
You get what I mean, right?
Yes, correct.
Malaysia Airlines, government money ma. Okay lah, don't meet target. Okay lor.
Whatever lah, cincai
Whatever
lor.
lah, cincai lor.
Air
But
Asia,
Asia, right? Oh man.
Actually, I think Andrew was the one who brought it up last night. He was like, "Wow, this Air Asia, you know what? They only give back X amount of people back their credit, all that." And I was like, "That's why I buy Air Asia stock."
Yeah.
Because I want to get my money back.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah.
So I think this is a good, probably the last part. I know you gotta go soon already.
Yeah, no worries.
But,
Take your time.
Investing, right? I know, obviously, because of the jobs you guys have, you guys don't have time to be deep into investing. But how has it been so far?
I got a letter the other day from Tenaga. Then I got my is it dividend?
Dividend.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was like, wow. I got my
Can pay, right?
dividend. I was like, damn. Then I showed Jen. Then Jen was like, I think I should do it too. I'm like,
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Give me 5, bro.
yeah.
Only when feeling, the feeling, right?
Yeah, then I got my Asian one. So then I'm like, wow. Damn, man. Life is crazy, way.
Yeah.
But now all about that crypto life, because you all talk about it.
Yes.
Then I'm like,
Oh,
I should probably get into that too.
Yeah, bro.
But I think my problem is that I'm not a very focused person when it comes to investing. Maybe not yet. So like I put money in here, put in money in there, put in money here. It's because I don't fully understand it, but I wouldn't want to understand it unless I put money into it. I just know my habit, right?
Yes.
I know that I will only read or learn about it after I put money in. Like, oh, I better
Skin in
read
the
about
game,
it.
painful. Right?
Yeah. So I think that's my habit. So for me, I'm happy I started. I'm happy I met both of you. Brad. Now I met more people, so it's crazy.
Soon.
Luna got there.
Yeah.
Everyone's a Luna here.
So I think for me, YouTube has been a blessing because it made me a lot of people.
Serious.
Yeah.
What people don't understand about YouTube is that your whatever your plans are for YouTube, the benefit you're gonna get is gonna be bigger than whatever you
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Remember
way
what
they
you
try,
said
that's right.
about
because it's 2
us
billion
doing
people.
the podcast?
Yeah.
And then we never imagined, of all people, Datuk Teng Chi Wai coming.
He's the guy who founded Afin Huang Asset Management. This guy is
I saw that interview.
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
80
This guy-
billion, bro.
manages 80 billion.
Yeah.
He sounds like a chill guy too.
Oh, damn
honestly.
chill.
Yeah.
See,
Damn
that's
chill.
the
Super
beauty
down
of
to
it,
earth
right?
guy.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it. You set it up, and because if you go and really like makan with them, they'll feel like you got intention or whatever. But actually, the podcast has this like humbling, like
correct.
strip down that whole.
Correct.
And what helps is that we
Yeah.
can now take older podcasts and say this is what we do.
Yeah.
So they know what to expect already.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Literally, right? I like, for example, I went on a date with a girl. She just talking. Then she's like finding out about me. Then she's like, hey, you know what? I passed the YCS podcast. You go and watch
Yeah.
my
Rewatch.
research.
Yeah.
That's
I
how
got
Jen trusted me also to get into a relationship with me. So I watch a lot of your vlogs, so you seem like
Yeah.
not a creeper, lah. Nice.
Not a
You won't
serial
give
killer.
Nice, nice.
You've
You've got
Yeah.
social repertoire at risk. Man.
Yeah.
You cannot.
Yeah.
It's a great
So
thing.
yeah, and I got a date. So
Congrats, MJ. Congrats.
yeah,
No,
Nice.
that YouTube is the new CV. If you
Yeah,
think
it's
about it,
true.
Yeah,
It's
that's right,
true.
that's right.
It's true.
it's not a LinkedIn profile where you can like write and
Yeah, and then I
right?
feel like LinkedIn is quite like circle jerk, lah. I feel.
Yeah.
Oh,
A lot.
100%, bro.
Right? It's like, oh, I donated this charity this weekend. I'm a great human being.
and I think YouTube is better than Instagram. Instagram, people put their best front. Whereas
Yeah.
YouTube, you're on video, right?
Yeah.
People can either tell you're genuine or you're fake. By and large, after a certain point.
Yes.
Correct.
You're either like normal dude or Sylvia NOC.
Oh, damn.
So, yeah.
Damn.
True.
Yeah.
Then after you call
Thank
up,
God we shipped her over to the
Yeah, man.
Pebble down south. Pebble down south.
She brutal, man. She brutal.
Yeah.
Quite savage,
Crazy,
actually.
man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, but how about yourself? I know you spoke about C Limited, and how has it been? How have you started and things?
Overall portfolio balance between stocks,
And unit trust.
unit trust, and crypto.
Nice.
Nice.
Heavier on unit trust because I've been doing it longer and there is a system built in place already.
Yeah, right,
Never
right.
bothered to change it.
Yeah.
Stocks I invest in when I have extra money. I think generally I have a bit of extra money every month.
Okay.
I think I've invested in Qualcomm was my first stock. I thought I was a long-term
Like
stock investor.
Qualcomm's like Snapdragon.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I thought I could play the semicon game, right? And then I was like, bro, this shit ain't moving, man. Right? And then I was like, damn impatient. I was like, damn itchy,
Yeah,
Then I realized, right, well, maybe I don't have the patience for it. But then when I put it into a stock like C, right, that I actually understand, then I understand where the patience comes from.
Yeah.
The patience comes from understanding it.
Oh,
Yes.
100%.
Yeah. And then I was like, oh, okay, learn something about myself.
Yeah.
And then I also put money into Alibaba. Right? So I did a lot of research and
Because it's
Competitor,
it's a bit easier.
Correct,
And then
correct,
if you
yes.
ask you analyze Amazon also,
Yes.
it won't be too difficult.
Yes, exactly. You can draw a lot of parallels, right?
I'm just surprised. How come you don't own this as a share?
Or Apple stock.
Oh, Apple.
Ah.
I wanted to put in. I don't have enough cash already.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? If you guys listen to the previous podcast, Ng Zuhan,
Uh,
I don't know if you listen to the whole thing.
I said 15
The
minutes.
guy just bought one stock, and that stock did so well. He funded his wedding,
And the house.
his house,
Yeah.
and
One
probably
stock.
One stock.
What song is this?
Cure resources.
Resources.
You know they sell. Okay, you know now there's a hot pot craze, right?
Yeah.
You know those crab sticks and those cheese
Yeah. Oh, they
seafood
create that one.
mobile. They are the biggest in Malaysia.
They're those of Family
Family
Mart.
Mart.
And
Oh,
Family Mart.
yeah.
Yes, and Family Mart, of course.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So he
Understand.
he understood that. So every time he got spend money, and then he's a lawyer some also.
Yeah. Just DCAQL. There's no such thing
So
as DCA.
I mean, this is not like pure financial advice.
Yeah.
But if I'm in a position, just stay in e-commerce. And e-commerce is like more than you can
Yeah,
ask
no,
for.
exactly.
Why get
exactly.
into semiconductor?
the tailwind is behind you.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So it's, but I think when I put money into Alibaba, it was after its first dip. And
Okay.
it dipped from, after the NIPO mess, right?
Okay.
From 300 plus, went down
Yep.
to about 260. And then when it dropped to 220,
Nice.
I thought bottom, bro.
Yeah.
220 from high threes, right? Bottom. I buy. Dip. In hardcore dip, went to
Yeah.
140.
Yeah.
But then because I felt and I understood the business a lot better.
Sales. It's
Yeah.
a sale.
Correct.
Yeah, it's a sale.
Honestly, every
Yeah.
number was great except for the shit happening in China, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
And like down minus 40%, right? Still steady.
Yeah.
Okay. No need to
You
pull
know,
up.
I can't believe it. Actually, it's great because you're in the industry, right? So we're actually going to ask a stock related question now.
Okay.
It's Alibaba, right? So a lot of people went into Alibaba because a lot of like really smart investors went to it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, Charlie Munger went in.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
these guys,
Double
right?
down, man.
Yeah, he doubled down. Yeah.
yeah.
What
Oh.
is the confidence that you have for Alibaba? Because people are saying that, okay, there are two layers of the argument. The first is that it's going to crash, which I think that's the serious one. But now Jack Ma is...
How would it crash?
No, like now they're going to cut Jack Ma off and the
Yeah.
whole company. I
Sure.
think that's ridiculous. But I think a little bit more subtle case that I think is quite legit is that they're going to cap their growth now.
Oh.
Because they're taking out Ant Financial.
They're
Then-
spinning off.
Then last time they have this deal, this monopolistic deal, right? If you are a vendor for us,
Yes.
you can't be a vendor for the
I
10 cent
see.
people. So then the Chinese government's taking that off. So they're taking away all the natural monopolies that shareholders want, that
Yep.
all these companies want, right? That make Alibaba become
Super
huge.
Yeah.
And so that's why now the dip is happening. So obviously for you, 140, it's a sale, right? So
Yeah.
I have to ask,
100%.
right, by being in a
Same space.
in the e-commerce space, right? What is giving you that confidence?
I think for Alibaba specifically, right?
Mm.
I think a few points. I think the first point is you must acknowledge the growing middle class in China.
Of course.
Okay.
That is a macro view,
Mm.
right? It only serves to benefit Alibaba. I think the second point is having worked in e-commerce, especially in an Asian region, although Southeast Asian, there is a distinction. Exclusivity is a factor,
Mm.
but it does not impact business as much as people think it does.
Okay.
It is strictly a BDE move. Okay. It doesn't really, it generates some degree of incremental sales and incremental profit, a lot smaller than people think.
Okay.
Obviously, it varies depending on categories and business lines and whatnot, but by and large, exclusivity does not bring in as much as you think.
Mm.
So it's fine. Honestly, take it away. Third point is Alibaba, I feel, is now acknowledging that they cannot have BDE in front of the Chinese government.
Yeah,
I see.
because the D is a lot bigger.
Correct.
For the
Yeah.
Chinese.
These really B, man.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So they've decided to give in goodwill a huge sum of money for common prosperity,
Yes.
which is exactly Xi Jinping's principles.
Correct.
Right. So if you acknowledge you have to be cooperative with the Chinese government to succeed, then you will. So those are the three factors.
Mm.
And I think in general, its numbers also check out, right?
Okay.
You got growing sales,
Yeah.
right? Cash flow is positive.
Yes.
Generally, the numbers check out.
Yeah.
So all those factors included, I think it's a sound investment.
Mm. Mm.
To be safe, I would also like to tell the listeners that I am also a shareholder in
Yeah.
Alibaba.
In full transparency.
In full transparency.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was a really good point because the Chinese government want to cap you, but they don't want to kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
They
Because
can't
Alibaba
afford
is
to,
a
like.
golden goose, right?
It's a
Yeah.
golden goose, 100%.
Yeah.
And it's already established, like everywhere, like everything's Alipay as well. You know.
Yeah. Although their
Yeah.
Lazada is a bit.
Yeah, that
sucky
one,
here lah.
that one different lah.
But that's why you buy C, right? So-
Exactly. You hedge. Hedge. Yeah, it's
Okay. I know you gotta go. This is the last question, and this has to do with either your girlfriends or your potential spouse.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. And how has it been like in terms of the money conversation with them? Do you get into fights? If so, what type of fights?
Or don't even talk about it. It's like
or what
completely,
you plan as you progress in the relationship, right? What does the financial tango look like?
Can you give me like 5 minutes? I go toilet.
Can I get? We'll
I
start with
realized
Andrew
I
then.
drink
Sure.
so much water, and then I'm just like,
We'll start with Andrew then.
This is a tricky question, actually. I think I navigate my communication with my girlfriend well, by
Okay.
and large.
okay,
Very, very calm tone. Makes it very difficult for anyone to raise voices.
okay,
And I try to be as rational as humanly possible, which has helped
Okay.
diffuse a lot of potential arguments.
okay.
I think the talk about money is challenging. I've been trying to get her to invest, or at least to start investing, to at least have skin in the game, to motivate you to learn a bit more about certain businesses that you're interested in. That's been difficult to do.
Okay. For some context, what industry is she in?
She's working with a family business, and she runs her own kopitiam.
Ah, okay.
Nice.
F&B business.
Yep,
Okay.
in Section 17. So foundationally, a very old school, which is fine. A lot of cash, right? Which is why
Yeah,
you
or
should,
wealth.
you should be putting it somewhere that makes sense, financially, right? But it's been very difficult to convince her to start investing without coming off as like
Brash.
or trying to preach something or whatever, So I have been struggling, and I've at least temporarily backed off.
Okay.
I don't want to put too much pressure. Fundamentally, it's your money, lah. Okay, I shouldn't
your
be
family's
telling you.
money.
Yeah. I shouldn't be telling you what to do.
Yeah.
But I'll let you know what I think is the best, and you can make that decision for yourself.
I see.
Ideally, what I'd like to do is I'd like to plan our financial journey together. That would be ideal. Very, very clear communication, open transparency, and we build towards a common goal together. No surprise bungalow I want. Don't have like my friends say I got this really great Hermes bag that I suddenly want, right? And then that pulls us out of trajectory like nobody's business.
Right.
I would like it to be planned, and if there are changes, we talk about it.
Okay.
That's the ideal state. But it's been difficult to break these barriers in the context of finances. I think every other context has been fairly great,
Sure.
right? Talk about conflict with family or whatever, friends, yada, yada, yada. We've been able to communicate excellently. But finances has been very difficult, strangely, and I don't know why.
Perhaps is it because that right now you don't have shared financial responsibility, like,
Could be.
Yeah.
We don't. Could be the reason why.
Yeah. Until it's like, oh crap, both of us has to pay for an installment every month, for a house,
Yeah.
That could be one. Okay.
So John,
wait, was it a good thing or a bad thing?
Too long didn't read is that we communicate very well, but from a financial perspective, not as well as I'd like it to be.
I think it's because she just shifted jobs also, ma. She's trying to settle in.
She's been 1 year in. I think she's.
Is it 1 year already?
1 year already?
Damn, man.
More than 1 year, actually. Fun fact.
Wow.
So very settled in. It's just
Don't really have
we
a conversation
struggle
about
to
it.
communicate about finances.
Does she share anything about her I wouldn't say investment philosophy, I would say her money philosophy?
She shares bits and pieces, but I can feel that there is a wall that has not been broken yet.
Understand?
Wait, how long together? already? 2 years or 3 years?
Together 3 years already, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
damn.
But do you observe like little things like how she spends her money, how she saves her money and all that?
Yeah,
Is it-
yeah.
So it's
Correct.
roughly aligned with yours?
How integrated
I don't
are
think
you?
so. I don't think so.
So
I
it's
think
on one trajectory.
I think there is a lot of work to be done.
Oh, okay.
Not saying it's tragic.
Okay.
I'm saying it could be a lot worse, but
Yeah.
by my definition, there's a lot of work to be done, and you need to break down these walls and communicate.
Yeah.
But breaking down that, I see the wall, but breaking it down, I can't seem to do it.
Yeah. Sometimes it really takes two hands to tango, and also I think shared financial responsibility helps her.
Yeah.
Does.
I feel eventually we'll get there.
Yeah.
It does. It does help. It helps
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
It helps a lot. Before this, I would never have a conversation with you about money. I
see.
respect what she do with her money. She respect what I do with my money.
Yeah.
Only when in Japan, we're like, we're in Japan.
Common goal.
Actually, you guys should do a trip,
They did what, right?
They did.
Vietnam.
Yeah, but generally all very nearby only lah.
The
not too
Japan one
expensive.
was a big thing.
Go Vanuatu.
Sorry?
Vanuatu.
Where's Vanuatu?
It's like, okay, I can't even pronounce it.
It's like those islands in
Yeah, it's like Survivor kind of island.
No, man, dude, no.
Hey, we're all dating PJ girls lah, friend.
Yeah, bro.
They're not gonna last lah, bro.
Yeah, bro. Before Japan, we respected what we did with our money and all that. Don't really ask them. But then again, that time our salary is so low, dude. It's like what?
Right.
3K, 2, 4, 3, 2, like around there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
She also just came back from the States, so we didn't really think about it. But then I think it was like 8 months in, then we went to Japan. But even that one also, if it's not related to a trip, won't even talk about money. Because we just respect each other. But then when we move into the house, that's when
Yes.
yeah. that's when it really got real, lah.
Hey,
Right?
sabun you buy this one I buy.
No,
the
actually,
mop.
it was a very straightforward thing. I was like, I need to pay for the house, but we get married, then I share you the property and the name and everything, right? Other than that, you pay for the internet bill, and I'll pay for water bill is minuscule. I'll pay for electricity bill and the house because I know the salary gap. I know she earns a bit lesser than I do, so I'll pay for like that
The
ratio.
proportion.
Yeah, and then for every other thing, like let's say groceries or that, we just take turns. Just take turns. Or if it's a meal, just take turns. Just take turns. Because it's easier. I'm not gonna divide it and all that, right?
Yeah.
So she just paid, then I pay, then she paid, then I pay. So after that, right? Then after that, it's only when you came on the podcast and then John came on the podcast, then she's like, "What do you think of stock investment?" Then I'm like, "I think it's something that you should think about. You should read about. Then we can talk. We have a conversation about it." Then after that, she went to crypto also. So she's like, it got better after we got the house. Because
see.
after that, only
Okay.
you have something to work towards.
Yeah,
like,
Yeah.
let's say that month, right? I spent too much on. I bought a new screen, so I bought a new Xiaomi screen, right? I'm like, baller. I love this screen. I can do my
2006, right?
editing.
The 34-inch one, right?
Yeah. The curve one.
yeah,
I'm like,
give me
so
five,
nice.
give me
right?
five.
It was so good.
Yeah, I was like, I bought, he bought.
Oh, yeah.
He also bought.
More than 50% of this room bought the same screen.
Yeah,
Bro,
exactly.
it was so cheap.
No, it's really value for money.
Yeah, and it's so good.
Yes.
So good. Then I was like, I did a lot of reviews and all that. Right? I watched all the reviews. I'm like, wow, I'm settled. Some more, I stole 2 screens from the office because I'm not even in the office anymore.
Yeah.
When you had to give back because I had to go back to office. So I'm like, okay, time to buy a new screen.
Yeah.
So I bought the screen. Then I'm like, wow. Then I'm like, hey, Yang, can cover this month or not? Because I just bought screen. She's like, hey, chill, man. So she buy lah.
It's cool, man.
Yeah. Then after that, she's like, hey, Yang, I'm going to buy Apple Watch. They're like, wow, serious shit. Then I was like, then she's like, day.
It's 2.2, right? Apple Watch.
It depends on what model, depends on what size, and we can
Right,
go on
right,
lah.
right.
But basically, she's like, hey, it's so cheap because of the Maxis thing. And I think it's 0%. They give you a good price for it lah, if I'm not mistaken. Then she was like, but you can cover this month. Then I like, okay lah. So it's like like you said lah, I think it takes 2 hands to tango, 2 hands to clap, whatever.
Yeah.
After a while, right, it's just in sync already.
Yeah.
It's only the wedding part that I like, oh man, Yang, we have to set some expectations.
Oh,
here,
we're
man.
gonna come to that. We're gonna
Yeah,
come to
what
that,
is the how much do you all want to what do you think is a fair amount? to
Dude,
spend?
the fair amount is as little as possible because I don't care about these people. I want to go to Japan, bro.
Yeah.
Two people, yeah.
I actually
Yeah.
think it's a culture for younger folks like us to not care about a wedding.
Actually, it's
true,
so true because it's
feel-
like, remember when you guys hosted Sean, Ah Heng, right?
Yeah.
And then you
It's
had
all
a
photography.
Yeah. I was telling MJ, my whole wedding, 30K.
Now people's ring 30K.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
bro. Easily.
Exactly. And we have this running joke between MJ and the team that says, when you look for a relationship, ironically, you have to start the relationship when both of you have nothing.
Yeah, correct. That helps.
I know it sounds
That helps, yeah.
yeah.
The struggle makes you go through it, like.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you start on, it's like, unless if you come into a relationship, she's earning like 20, 30K and you are earning like 50K, right? Wow, I tell you, the conversation and the level will be very, very different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah,
prenup, prenup
Yeah,
here, prenup
The trust
there.
issues.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, you're dipping into my pot, you're spending more, that kind of thing. So I mean,
Yeah.
but that's ideal. That's
Sure,
ideal.
sure.
That's ideal.
Wow.
So coming back, what's the amount?
To spend for my wedding,
Yeah.
Yeah.
dude, I can tell you a majority of my wedding is going to be free. You know why? Because
Events
I'm in
company.
events.
Oh.
So I have the staging guy, I have the sound guy,
Oh,
I have
man.
everything there.
Oh, nice.
Even the
What you do?
hotels, when I go for meetings, they're like, so John, when you going to get married? I'm like, depends lah. You know my boss, he can give me increment, then they switch the conversation to my mom. But I can tell you it'll be free. Because I know that they'll be like, hey, this one John, this one. I can confidently say that because they want to showcase what they can. It's like a portfolio thing already.
Yeah,
Because a lot of times, right, when you do like real events, you have to work based on the budget. So you can't like output, right? But if you have a chance to show, then I think they'll show. But even then also, I'm like, for what? Just go Cameron Highlands, banana leaf rice, then, everybody wears shorts and slippers, everybody's comfortable.
nice.
Then you
Yeah,
can just
that'd
go
be
and
dope.
pass out after that in the cool weather. My God.
Better than those
Sounds good.
Chinese wedding.
Very
of
stiff.
30 people.
30 people
Yeah.
and then 10
Yeah.
people on a table and then you want to start conversation also.
Damn
Yeah,
awkward.
it's with the person next to you.
Yeah.
And you better pray the fella smoke also. Then you can go smoke with the fella.
That's true, man.
Yeah.
It breaks the ice. Yeah.
Otherwise, right, because a lot of the Chinese weddings I see, right, it's always that cringy video that they do where the guy comes
Yes.
out and then like 5 guys walk together with him. Then I'm like, oh my God. Then the woman is like with a gown in the room and then she's like looking out the window, like the window got something to look at like that. Then after that, everybody will come in the room and then they play stupid games and all that. Then Jen is always looking at that video and then looking at me. I'm like, yeah, we're not doing that shit. Then she's like, don't worry, I also don't do that cringy shit.
Yeah.
So at least the expectations all align.
That's good.
Yes.
Yeah, correct.
Right.
Expectations is
Yeah,
important.
but for her, right, the prime two things is must have damn nice photography.
Ah.
Then I like, Day, I also can take Day. What you saying, girl? What you saying? Then she said, video must be nice video. I'm like, you looking at the guy? What?
No, your wedding, right? Just vlog.
Yeah, I was thinking that would be
Yeah,
so
just-
sick.
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like you
That'd
can
be damn
just
sick.
place the camera and then do whatever you do.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Then she like, no, must hire a professional. I'm like, you don't trust my work, is it? Is that why?
Wow,
Then
this
she's
one-
like, no, I want you to live in the moment with me.
That's just
Then I like,
Wow.
the camera doesn't even exist. It's just there. We are just living the moment. But she insists, so that's her rule.
Okay lah.
When I proposed the banana leaf rice in camera, she's like, she's not bad. Very cool.
Oh shit, yeah, dope, man.
Yeah.
It
man.
sounds-
Then she's like, actually, all okay. My parents are okay. It's just her parents only. Then I'm like, how you?
there you go.
there
See,
you go.
There's always a blocker.
Stakeholder engagement.
Ah, best.
But
Andrew?
apart from that, I think okay.
For me, I don't know. I think ballpark maybe about 20, 30K. Nothing too fancy, honestly. We're going to invite like
Close friends.
damn close friends, like maybe
Okay.
like 10 people at most, okay?
Okay.
Including my parents and John, and the rest is like. Okay. It's going to be like
No
maximum.
space for us.
No. We're out of the circle, man.
Bro, it's because I'm broke.
You know what he will do? The best he will do is he will just get, hey John, I put vlog camera there.
Yeah, you do.
And
But
you'll
no,
join virtually.
in his defense, let me just be honest, right?
Yeah.
If you have more people, let's say you have like 200 packs, example, right?
Yeah.
How confident are you as the groom to have conversations with each
No
person?
way.
You're only doing it as a formality. I
Correct,
would
correct.
rather spend, let's say I allocate 100K lah, example. That 30K I do wedding for just the family to please them only. The other 70K, bro, let's go Japan, bro.
Yeah.
That's right.
Let's go
Exactly.
to Penang. Let's go have a drink. I know I can have a one-on-one with you, have a
Yes.
conversation with you.
Yes.
Why fork out that amount of money, right,
Yeah.
for a wedding, right, where you're just going to show face?
Yes.
Doesn't even make any
That's true,
sense.
exactly.
And then you know
No.
Chinese wedding, you go, you just like for me, right, when I pour wine, haha, you saying okay. Next,
Well, after that, you
table,
don't even
next
remember
table.
what happened,
Yeah,
really.
yeah,
As the
yeah.
guest, I hate it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's so
Yeah,
time wasting.
correct. I think everyone hates it deep down.
Yeah.
Whether you choose to acknowledge it or not is a different question.
Yeah.
Because the food is not good.
Yeah.
By
Most of the
then,
time, yes.
by then, really, right, the budget has been scraped so low, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, what's the point?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What's the point?
Yeah.
So even if I do mine, it's just for show only. It's
Yeah.
because they want to showcase what the suppliers can do only.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be like the guy there. They can't even eat. Because later if I eat, then I can wear my suit properly.
I think you need to talk Bradley on this. Man.
Yeah, man. That's the
I
second.
don't know. I think a simple dinner is fine, lah, right? That's
Yeah, that's the
call
ideal.
it
Ideal.
lunch
call it a day,
cheaper.
lah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or lunch cheaper, yeah, better still.
Lunch is cheaper.
Okay, last question related to this. I did ask Bradley the same question also, which was the bank account one.
Huh?
Ah,
so,
yes.
So
Wait, I
okay,
don't
so
remember
what if you guys get married once?
Oh, share.
Oh,
yeah.
Right. What do y'all think of the? Okay, so obviously you all will have a bank account shared. Now that's not the interesting question, right? The interesting question is, do you receive your salary in your personal accounts or whatever you earn in your
Okay.
personal accounts, and then you allocate money into this shared account, or
Mm.
you both agree to put all your income into one account
Yep.
and then split it out into your own personal accounts?
The former. For me, it's the former.
Same. I think it's for me lah, at least. And I think I'm on the same page with Jen. I think if she watches this, she'll be like, Yang, you sure you're on the same page with me? I hope she's on the same page with me because I feel like after years of being with her, she also is the same as me. And it's money come to our account. And then we agree that to put money inside. Because circumstances change.
Yes.
Like, for example, her circumstance is better than me now. Because she works at Colgate. I don't know when I'm supposed to say that, but whatever lah, right? And she gets a good salary now. And because of that good salary, she has no time. And she's like, I don't know whether I should have taken this job. I don't even have time to like enjoy my life already.
Yeah.
But she earns more now. So like by right, ratio-wise, she should put more into that shared pot. We haven't gotten married yet, whatever lah. But I think when the time comes, I think that should be that conversation. It's about how much you earn, how much you should live with, and how much should be put in. So if you put into the pot first and take out, I think that's going to be like, sketch, bro. Yeah, going to be a lot of arguments.
I think it's also the answer to that question depends on how you view the fundamentals of a relationship.
Correct.
Yeah.
I feel a relationship is an extension of your own life.
Oh my God, you sound exactly like mom. Drew. My God.
Because it shouldn't be
God.
you shouldn't be that relationship with, right? It's a part of you, lah.
Yeah.
So money goes to you first. Then you bring it to the extension, lah. Not the fucking the other way around, lah, bro.
Yeah,
Don't be high on
yeah.
drugs or what.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. In a way, it's like you already plant the carrot and now you want to pull it out.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Exactly.
True. Yeah.
Plus, right, if you're questioning how much I'm putting into the share account, you can track. What's your problem?
Yeah.
If it's less, then you talk to me, lah. Right? What's the challenge here, bro?
It's a trust thing. It's a trust thing.
Yeah,
for sure.
just
It's a
check
trust thing
lah.
for sure. Yeah. But it sounds so like mom when you say that. My God.
Yeah,
The word
that-
extension, when she says it, right, I'm just like, my God, I don't know how many
She says it
meetings
too
I've
often.
heard her say the word extension. Many ways to skin a cat.
For me, it's all about synergy. Sprints agile.
Oh, those words give me a PTSD.
It's just repeated too often. That's
Yeah.
why.
The words have lost meaning already.
That's right.
That's why.
All right, guys. I wish this was longer, but it's been very fun. Thank you so much for.
Yeah.
It's an honor,
Thanks
man.
for having
It's
us,
an
man.
honor.
Yeah.
This is the last one. You guys, it will be the very memorable, right? And yeah, guys, if you guys enjoyed this sort of content.
Give them a place to shout out.
yeah,
your
of
channel,
course,
please.
of course. Please shout out your channels, whatever you want to
You start first. Go ahead.
I think it's up to you whether you're gonna subscribe to my YouTube channel. I curse a lot, I eat a lot, and then I burp a lot. I'm quite like vulgar. So if you want to watch that, at least it's something true.
Yeah.
You know that guy I told you about that
The one who start from one.
the guy who just recently started, he's like, I'd rather trust a sailor who curses than a guy who doesn't. Yeah.
That's a fact. Yeah.
Damn,
Right,
son.
right.
Perspective.
Perspective.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you want to watch my vlogs, check it out. I think primarily we're here as Yamcha Sessions. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
I guess.
As a
Yeah.
podcaster, right?
Yeah.
Podcasters on a podcast.
Yeah.
So if you want to check that out,
Yeah.
we just did a podcast with Sai Sadiq, which is wild.
Crazy.
If you asked me 6 years
What
ago,
a
like,
milestone, man.
yeah, like, hey John, you'll be interviewing a politician, what minister of what parliament from what, all that. I'm like, you mad? I don't even know anything about politics.
Yeah.
You want me to talk to a guy? Talk to him about anime, is it?
But now you can relate to what Tony Stark when they asked him since when he became an expert in thermodynamics. It's like last night.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly,
100%,
exactly.
yeah.
It's like I had to learn so much about it, right? So get to meet you guys, everything as well. I think it's great. So you want to check out MJ Sessions? Go check it out. No
Yeah.
pressure.
Yeah. So Andrew, you already brought the advertisement along.
Yes. branding at its best.
Yeah.
So check out Fetch if you have any pets.
You have to say Fetch Malaysia because I googled it. Just Fetch cannot find. You must put Fetch Malaysia.
I know it's a very hard keyword to rank for.
.com,
I'm trying
.my,
very
or
hard.
.com?
Fetchmalaysia.com. Yeah.
Fetch Malaysia, okay.
Yep. So check us out if you have any pets. You can support local businesses. Completely transparent. Fetch takes a tiny cut. Really doesn't make me any richer than I was yesterday.
As Stock does.
But see, stock does. Not financial advice. Yeah. So support Fetch Malaysia. And I guess if you're into food delivery, you should check out Shopee Food too.
There's a 3-word thing, right? Like healthy, convenient, and
Yes.
Oh, what's your tagline, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Healthy, convenient, and local.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I love the local part. I think
Yeah.
it's good.
But yeah, Shopee Food has good deals too. So if you want cheap food, that's
okay.
good place to go.
Yeah.
Great.
All right, man, guys.
Thank you so
I
much
enjoyed
for
this
coming.
podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks
It's
for
a-
having
guys,
us, man.
You guys want discount content, right? Just remember to, as usual, like, comment, subscribe, click on the notification bell so that when
It's
new
almost
videos.
routine, but at the same time, people never do it.
Yeah.
That's why you have to say it.
You know, they never do it. You want to just say something like weird, like don't subscribe, bro. Unsubscribe, you subscribe.
Yeah.
And then
You
you're
know,
I'm
like
gonna subscribe right now.
some guys are like, they will literally show their analytics. Guys, do you know that only 8% of your
Yeah. That's right.
subscribe? Yeah, but go watch some of our other podcasts. And of course, as usual, signing off. See you guys in the next one.
Goodbye.
Chows.
Right,
Wow.
timing.
Are you going to rush or not?
I'm not gonna drive very fast. Fuck it. Yeah, late already, right? What are you gonna do?
Oh, yeah, man.